Hello, people. Welcome to Never a Foul. This is your weekly call-in show. We're doing it Friday night before the big Sunday, Championship Sunday. I'll be joined by Daps a little bit in 5 minutes or something. He's just getting his things together. The call-in show, the stream, the link is in the chat. It's pinned there. You can just call in and have your say. We're going to talk a little bit about the transfer market. We're going to get chat with the people, of course, and with Daps about the 2 cup finals, the FA Cup and the Champions League. I'm your boy Mo. Make sure to hit that like button for me if you just joined. Of course, we'll talk a little bit about transfers. Of course, McAllister to Liverpool. Fabrizio Romano saying it's almost done. Of course, good evening for everybody that is joining us. Make sure to hit that like button for me. If you haven't, I want the likes to go up to 50 likes right away on the spot. I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about? I'm going to take callers, of course, a little bit in 5-10 minutes when the callers come in. Of course, we want to talk about, what are we talking about? Gundogan to Arsenal. Is that even real? Are they even going to take that? What about Man United? Who are they going for? Harry Kane is linked to Man United, of course. Is that the missing piece for them, along with maybe a midfielder or something? Hello, everybody that is joining us. Welcome to Never a Foul. I'm going to repeat that, and I want the likes to go up. If you haven't hit that like button, yeah, it looks like this. It's underneath your live chat. I'm waiting for Daps. Big up for everybody that is here with me. Come in, have a chat with me. Click on the link. Don't be shy. Click on the link in the chat. It's a pinned link in the chat. Click on that link and come and chat with me. Come and chat with me. Also, Declan Rice. Gundo ain't going to Arsenal. Nah, maybe Fox. Maybe he's not going to. I'm not sure, though, because they are willing to offer him 3-year contract. So let's talk about Gundogan a little bit. And if you haven't watched me yesterday talking with Igal and the rest of the crew, I think it was Ty, we were talking, and also Dabs, we were talking about Declan Rice. What's his best option? Is his best option going to Gundogan? Is his best option staying at Man City and offered 1-year contract only, going to Arsenal, offered 3 years contract with a big money, or going to Barcelona with only 2 years? If I was Gundogan, I would go to Arsenal. 3 years, guaranteed starting place probably for Arsenal. Yes, he might not win the league for them, but he can be the captain. He can be the guy that leads the team into something good. They're gonna play in the Champions League, so he's not gonna miss the Champions League. If it was me, I would go to Arsenal. Now, like, he's gonna get the big money, massive paycheck. I'll go to Barca. Why would you want to go to Barca, my man? Why would you want to go to Barcelona? Let me know, David. Why would you want to go to Barca? 2-year contract only. He's gonna leave England. It's Camp Nou, nice weather. They are broke. Oh yeah, for the weather, London is not bad. London from Manchester, I would say it's an upgrade. I would say it's an upgrade, to be honest. That Mo, the only one step. No, Daps is gonna be joining us in a bit. We have our first caller, Wyatt Anderson. He has to show me your camera. I don't know, Wyatt, are you one of our members? You got to show me the camera. I'm going to get you in, Wyatt. I'm waiting for Daps, honestly, to join me so we can have a discussion. What else we're going to talk? Like Declan Rice? Oh, my God. Someone said Goldbridge is saying that Declan Rice, he is going to favor Man United. Ooh, what are we talking about here? Really? Is that where we are now? Is that Declan Rice joining Man United? Come on. I think the guy's going to join Arsenal. I think the guy is going to join Arsenal, of course. This is my opinion, of course. Yeah. Intro. I'm just updating stuff in the background. You guys don't have to worry about me. But we're here. We're waiting for that. So he said it on the United stand. Yeah, I get it. I get what he's saying. It's the United stand. What do you want him to say, Fraser? He's definitely. Would you take Kepa for Onana swap more? HM. I would take Kepa for Onana plus 60 million. How about that? How about I take Kepa, but you give me 60 million pounds and I take Onana? Maybe. Maybe I'll do that then. That's what I would do, to be honest. Otherwise, it's not worth it for me. But people, remember, you gotta hit that like button. Horad, he says that Cozy, he thinks Mount and Rice both are going to Man United. Can I ask you guys something in the chat? And I think someone said it. One of the content creators said it. I think it's on the Big Six. Is Rice and Mountain are the people? Mount are the people that are gonna take you to win the Champions League. I think it's Lee Gunnar who said it. I think if you want to go and compete for the Champions League, it's either you hire Pep Guardiola or you go for superstar players. If you're going to spend 80, 90 million, go for go get Kimmich. You know what I mean? This is a superstar. Go get Barella. Go to Inter and get Barella. If you want to win the Champions League, go get Barella. Go get someone like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, have a signing that will make an instant. Don't get something from West Ham. I think Caicedo and McAllister are really top players, but McAllister is a winner. I think that's the difference. McAllister won the World Cup. Caicedo is still. People will like Caicedo more. People like Rice more. But remember, McAllister is a winner. If you're going to go sign someone to take you over the line, you need to sign a winner. And I think Gundogan is a winner as well. Gundogan is a winner. Like, you know what I mean? Go sign someone who won. Go get someone who won stuff. I think even Golo Kanti might help teams. Where is part-timer Cass? Cass is still in Manchester side, I guess, if I'm not mistaken. He's still hanging out. He is buzzing from yesterday. Champions League football side. It's what he's buzzing about. He's buzzing also that Liverpool are not in the Champions League. I'm not sure what people think about Mo Salah. I'm waiting, of course, for Daps. He's going to let me know when he's ready, of course, to join. But Kovacic for Onana. Kovacic is not worth 60, 70 million. Kovacic is not. Let me know, Daps, if you're ready. He is ready, and he is with us.
I'm so sorry, man.
Champion.
So sorry. Do you know what, bro? Do you know the other thing as well? Mm-hmm. So I don't know how many. Well, I've been sleeping on my sofa. I went to sleep. Then I got woke up by. I don't really know who they were. I just got woke up by some people asking for Cass. I think they were his friends. I think they were dropping. One of them dropped a bag off or something, but I was half asleep. Went back to sleep, and you know what? The game didn't end, but in my dream, we were losing 1-0 to Inter Milan in the Champions League.
Yeah,
did you hear that? Yeah.
Sorry, someone Ugarte just texted me about something. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. In my nightmare, shall we say, the game hadn't ended, but we were losing 1-0 to Inter Milan.
Yes, people. Even if it's a dream, I'll take it. It's a win for me.
And anyway, to wake myself up, I've gone and got Cass's. Firstly, I've got Cass's headphones on because my battery died. Secondly, I've gone and got Cass's goodie box. Remember this, Mo?
Yeah, the goodie box in the drawer. The drawer, yeah.
Cass, it's not just going to be a wagon wheel. I don't know what I'm going to have yet, but I'm going to have something out of here. Evidence is here. Anyway, what are people saying? Listen, it's a call-in show. We have Olu, we have Wyatt. Of course, Olu being a member will get priority. Of course, Wyatt, I'm sorry, my man. Unless Wyatt is a member, I'm not sure. I think Olu is a member. But let me just ask you something, Daps. Yeah.
How confident are you in the FA Cup final from 1 to 10? And not emotional, logical.
Oh, logical. Right. So logical, I'd probably say
logical. Being a derby, you know what I mean? Wembley.
Right. So that's emotional.
What I mean, you put, like, not you as a Manchester United fan. Take the Manchester City
City fan.
Sorry, take the Man City fan.
You've done that twice now.
And think about I told you champion once you join. Man
Right.
United,
So
Man United haven't been champion for 10 years. So
if I take my emotional hat off, I'm probably 8.5 confident.
okay,
On the day of the
uh,
game, I'll probably be
6 because the nervousness.
6. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, but that's not a good place to be because that was like Liverpool first half of the season.
yeah.
I was being logical and thinking, yeah, we smashed them. But this is Liverpool at Anfield and Man United. It's two complete different things. So yeah,
But it's
to be
not Man
frank with
United
you,
at
do
the
you know what I
Etihad.
said? Do you know what I said to Ty the other day?
Mhm.
Ty and Cass, in fact. Cass might not have been listening. Um, for Man United to stand a chance, Casemiro has to have a very good game. If Casemiro doesn't have a good game, United haven't got a chance. That's the way I see it. He's a good enough player that if he has a worldie of a game, yeah, maybe. But apart from that,
Dude,
nah.
he's so good. He's so underrated because he played with Modric and Toni Kroos and Benzema, Ronaldo. He's so underrated. The guy is so good as a footballer. There is a reason why in the Brazil team he was always the chosen one. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah. Yeah, he is.
Uh,
That's what I mean. But if he look, it's. Do you know what? I can't believe that United actually scored 4 goals yesterday as well. By the way,
it could have been 10, but also they could have scored. They could have had 4 goals on them, which is
yeah, true.
astonishing. Like if this was a proper team, Chelsea fans, I'm sorry to say that, but if they were a proper team, you would have
Yeah,
scored goals. But let me get Olo in. Let
and
me get
just
Olo in.
sorry, and
See,
just
go ahead.
final thing on that is like Ty said. Ty said, "Oh, he said something about he was talking about players that should play." He goes, "You got to remember that we've already beat them once this season." And I was like, "Hold on, bro. You beat Man City when we were not the Man City of right now." And
Exactly.
also, let's be real, that decision by the ref just killed it off.
I
Just
keep
killed it off.
saying
So
that, and people don't believe me. I said this
come on,
Man
man.
City team in the 2 months, the last 2.5 months, is a different Man City team than the
Oh,
one we saw
very
in the beginning
different.
of the season.
Very different. And now
This
this
is
is
one
a
of the best teams. Someone got into an argument with me. That's like, is this gonna be the Barcelona team of 2011 or whatever? And I said, number one, we're not gonna be able to put that into effect because it cannot happen.
yeah.
That's number one, right? Number two, this Man City team has way more many ways to go to the goal. It's not only Messi
Yeah.
or dribbling or tiki taka. It can be long ball. It can be
Do
crosses.
you know what?
Many things.
Did you see those things that I sent to you? Those 3 things that Athletic did.
Yeah, I did. I actually watched them, and this is tactically sound, but this is how coaches do it on the board
Yeah.
in the back room before the game.
Yeah.
But and then they practice them. They keep practicing them until they're done right.
Do you know what? All of them were spot on. Like the Grealish one, the way it showed that players literally put themselves in positions to stop this pass or this run, and then by doing that, they open up space for Gundogan to just walk in and go play it here. Then, and the same with Haaland, the one that now defenders are putting themselves in positions to stop Haaland's movement, not realizing again. And this is where Gundogan, I think, has come alive so much that Gundogan's that player that knows when to hit the box at the right time. And when you've got Haaland pulling defenders out of it, just leave. You know what? It's the way Sterling used to be at City, that when Aguero would make runs, then you'd have Walker making runs and all these. Do you know what? I always say the Walker runs into the box are so underrated because he very rarely gets past the ball. When he makes those just all of a sudden out of nowhere, you'll see Walker just bomb forward and he just scrambles defenders and takes defenders with him, and it just leaves another pass open. Anyway, let's get Olu in.
Yeah, of course. Let's get Olo in. Let's go to Olo in. Hey, he's here. He's here.
What up? What up? What up?
What up,
Hey.
man?
You right,
How are
young
you
man?
doing, man? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are both of you?
I'm
Yeah,
all right.
my hay fever's a bit crap in my eyes, but apart from that, it's Friday, last game of the season. Off down to Wembley. Last Premier League game of the season. Off down to Brentford.
Yeah.
Are you
on
going
Sunday.
down? You're going
Yeah,
down
yeah,
tomorrow?
yeah. I'm going to
or,
Brentford. Yeah, no, I'm
or
going
Sunday morning.
Sunday morning. Steve's coming down tonight, but he's staying over in Milton Keynes. So I think we're going to
Is
go
he
out for
gonna
some
come
food.
tomorrow to your house?
Nah,
or no?
I think we're going out for food instead because he was going to get a hotel at the end of the road, but it's fully booked. So he's had to get one in Milton Keynes now. So
Okay.
I think we're going to go for food and then go down there Sunday. Yeah.
Guys,
And
let
it's
me know in the
interesting.
comments. I want to see. Let me know in the comments if you can see the link pinned to the chat. Is that there? On YouTube, guys. Let me know in the comments if you can see
I'll
the
have a
link.
look if you want.
Yeah, and also,
Let me have a look. Yeah, it's
yeah,
there.
yeah.
It's there. Yeah, it's there.
It's there, right? So
Yeah.
people, if you want to call in, let me in. But yes, thank you, Wyatt. But Olu, you want to ask the questions or we will ask the questions?
You ask the questions. Let's chop it up, man.
Okay, let me
All right,
ask the
then.
questions.
Have you
Let me
got
ask the
one for him?
questions. You got one for? I got one for him.
Yeah, go on.
Go on.
If you don't get your top signings, which is Rice, and I don't know who else because there's nobody else reported for you. What are your expectations from Arsenal next year?
That's a good question. I mean, like I said, I'm a delusional fan. I.e., at the start of every season, it's always we're gonna win the league, and then reality sets in at some point.
Whoa.
No,
Hold on.
I said
I've
Let him
always seen.
talk. He hasn't even said a couple of words.
No, because I can't. I never put you in that box because at the start.
No.
But now you put yourself in that box. What you did at the start of last season, where you pretending to be a nonce fan, was just literally to hide the fact that you actually did think Arsenal were going to win the league from the start of the season.
I don't. When I say I think we're going to win the league, I don't think we're going to win the league. It's my belief that we're going to win the league. I remember when we started talking, I said, I always have this feeling that if you're going to support a team, and especially a top team, in your heart, you should think your team's going to win the league. Now, whether that pans out is a different case, but you always have confidence if you're an Arsenal fan, a United fan, a Chelsea fan, a Man City fan, a Liverpool fan, even to some extent Tottenham, that at the start of the season, you have to gas yourself up to believe you're going to win the league, right? Or else, what's the point of watching football? What's the point of supporting the team if you can't?
Oh, no. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that one bit.
My thing is that I dream of winning the league. Now, the reality is that I think, it's hard to say if Arsenal don't bring the top targets who we don't even know who they are. It's hard to say what's going to happen because we also need to know what's going to happen with the likes of Liverpool and Chelsea and Man United as well. Do they improve significantly over last year, or have they come to a point where this is? I wouldn't say this is their level because I think Chelsea are going to be much better than what they were last season, but have they regressed to a point now where they are what we were 3 years ago? It's hard to say. I will say this though. I think that Arsenal needs to essentially get some more players in, and some of that sentiment that we have towards certain players need to go. So I'm looking like of El Neni, looking like of Rob Holding, looking like even Jacques has been told that, or has pretty much said he's going to leave as well. I know we're keeping Reece Nelson, but I mean, a part of me post knowing that we essentially bottled the league for how everyone wants to claim. A part of me wants to see a more ruthless version of Arsenal, where we don't do things just based on sympathy and based on the fact that the players played in the league, in our team for 5 or 6 years, and you sort of say, okay, we didn't hit our targets. Let's go and get some better players that can let us hit that target. But yeah, so I mean, that's a long way for me to say. If we don't get someone like Rice, who for some reason, who people are saying is sort of a top target for Arsenal. I mean, how much that is true, I don't know. It'll be difficult to see then, do we go for someone like Caicedo, who really has only been 1 year in the Premier League, and the amount of times we've seen a player play, is it 1 or 2 years has been in the Premier League?
Who?
Caicedo.
One.
That's a good question. One.
Right. So the amount of times we've seen a player come to the Premier League for 1 year, have an amazing season, the next season not as good. Look at even someone like Bissouma, for example. I know he went to Tottenham, but do you remember like last year, everyone said Bissouma is like this sort of missing piece for everyone apart from Man City, and then now people looking and saying, actually, maybe he's not as good as what we thought he was. So,
but again, that's. Do you know what? you said players like El Nani, right? If you get rid of players like El Nani. Now, firstly, I do agree with you. Start of the season, I'm not the biggest El Nani fan, right? But let's be clear, that would be harsh because El Nani's been injured in the business end of the season where you drop points.
Mm-hmm.
So he hasn't had an impact on this season at all, right? Apart from being injured, he has not had an impact on this season at all. He is not one of your failings. You can look at people that failed your club. He is not one of them because he was injured. I do get what you're saying, but I don't know. There's players in your team that failed you, not a player that didn't
number
start.
one. Number one, put some respect on my Egyptian guy. That's number one. I'm just not gonna take
I respect him.
I'm not taking bullshit.
Oh, well, you better be careful what you say about Mason Mount then from now on.
Well, I don't have a lot of Egyptians playing the Premier League. I only have two people.
You are royally effed because now any English player, I'm going to say, put some respect. Put some respect on Calvin Phillips.
Playing the Premier League.
On Calvin Phillips' name, okay?
But I want to add something to Al Neni.
Wait.
Okay, Al Neni, every time he played for Arsenal, he did not disappoint to the point when Holding played. It's not that he didn't disappoint. He might not be the guy that will take you. He's not going to be Party at his best, but he was in Holding. He didn't disappoint.
Exactly.
But he is a squad player at best. That's the reason why you guys talk about Arsenal is that you want every player to be a first teamer that comes in and make a difference. That's not going to happen.
I disagree on that point in terms of wanting every player to be a first team player because I mean I remember the likes of Gilles Grimondi who played during Wenger's time and he was no first team player but he was crucial, right? My thing is just this: it's if you were think of it, Daps and Amansi and Mo Inter, would you want your backup midfielder to possibly be Mo Elneny coming off the bench?
No,
if there's an injury.
However,
wait.
Hold on. My main thing is your first name was him and not Rob Holding, right?
For example, or Tierney. For example,
someone that has come in and cost you games, right? You've gone for someone that actually, when he played, you were in great form. He dropped off.
See, you're missing
when you dropped off, he wasn't there. He wasn't about.
But you missed the point because
That's harsh.
I did name nasty. Rob Holt. I named Rob Holding as well. So essentially, what you've got a problem with is whose name I said first. And if that's what you want to say, then that's fine. I mean, you can have the arguments. That's fine. I still think the point still stands that the quality doesn't have to be world-class level on your bench, but it has to be above the level you currently got. And that's what I want Arsenal to essentially, do. You don't need to buy the best players in the world.
I can't believe you haven't said something more important.
Well, like what?
Experienced winners.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know.
People, and what I mean by that is, right, I mean experience, and I'm not saying you need a squad of them, but probably the only experienced winners you've got are Zinchenko and Jesus, right? But they're still relatively young. They're not overly experienced, and even they're not the players that, at City, the rest of the squad would be looking at to stay calm at all, at any point. They're the ones that the more experienced one would be saying, calm down, and the only one I think that's probably why you got Juninho. But maybe he came in a bit late and couldn't have enough of an impact. But I think that's why, if it's true, you're targeting Gundogan, because Gundogan is exactly that.
Okay, I understand the experienced winners. I still think, especially midfield, I think that's a bit of a cop out for Arsenal fans to even say, because our midfield is full of 3 captains, international level,
but not experienced winners.
It doesn't matter if you're.
It does matter. It does matter.
Wait. Okay, so Party has one. I'm wrong about what?
I'll tell you why you're wrong. Being a captain doesn't mean you're only winner. Kevin De Bruyne can win, but he's not a captain, and Man City fans will tell you this. But look at Gundogan. Gundogan is a captain. You don't have to be. Thomas Partey is a silent player. Odegaard is a silent player. Xhaka is a nervous player. You don't have a captain there.
There's no captain in your team. There is no one that will get everybody together and talk to them. Being winner doesn't mean you're a captain. That's the problem. Varane is a winner, but he's not a captain.
Right, but okay, here's a point. Varane is a winner, but do Man United look any closer to winning? In fact, you could argue Man United have got more winners in their team than Arsenal have, right? But yet the performance hasn't been up to scratch. So my point is that I think it's sometimes a laser argument just to say you need more winners, because I think it's more than that. And the reason I said a captain thing was just to prove that I could spin a narrative and say you've got multiple captains, so you should play a certain way. I think it's a little bit more than that. I think there's a culture of Man City that already exists. The culture of winning, right? It's not their winners, it's a culture of winning. And that's why you can bring in someone like Grealish, who was not a winner, and he can come in and become a winner, right? You can bring in, and that all comes from Guardiola's way of building things. So I think wait, let me just finish this. I think if you took the Man City team and put them in take the Man City team and give them Sean Dyche, are they going to win the league? Do you think they'll win the league?
Nope.
Exactly. So that's the point. So it's not just about being winners, it's more than just one thing.
The fact is, you've used Jack Grealish. You can take players and add players to add a player that isn't a winner and turn him into a winner. I'm not saying you need a squad of 11 experienced winners. What I'm just saying is you need one or two, yeah? And I don't even mean a cup competition, right? This is a league, right? Going at a league is completely different. You just need one or two experienced league winners that just know how. And if you can't see that after the last, correct me if I'm wrong, I said this on a show the other day, and I think it's someone actually said it is. This is the worst title running that anyone's ever had, as in the last 24 games, the points you've got out of that, right? Now, if that doesn't tell you that you lack experience in getting things done, and getting leagues done, I don't know what tells you that. And I think the fact that you're being linked with Gundogan tells you that your manager also thinks it. Gundogan for me is one. You get one more like that, and I think that completely could change Arsenal. The other thing is, there's another way of going about it. Get a manager that knows how to do it.
See,
you haven't got the know-how in the team of doing a league.
I think that is true to some extent, but I think it also comes down to quality. And the reason why the reason why I can give examples as well is that you take Leicester City, not team full of winners, and they won the league, right? You look at Valencia the first time they won the league after Real Madrid were dominated in the 2000s. Not team full of winners. You know, they had the likes of Mendieta who never won the league. They won the league. You had Deportivo La Coruna, who were a team that they have a team full of winners previously, and they won the league. So I think it comes down to there's more than just one thing. I mean, yeah, you can bring Gundogan, but I think there's a level of experience I think Arteta would want from like Gundogan, but also there's a quality in the play that he would also want from that. So I think it's a lazy argument just to say it's winners for me.
Oh no, hold on a second. Hold on. I get what you're saying there. When I say experienced winners, I'm expecting experienced winners to be of a certain quality. I'm not thinking just go and hire, a guy that's been at Man United for 5 years in their prime and happen to just go. I'm meaning a world class or a very good quality player that also has you don't become an experienced winner by being really and truly.
But that's what we did with someone like Mikel Sylvester when we brought him from Man United.
Look at who we brought. The great examples. I used this the other day on an Arsenal channel because an Arsenal fan was saying, "Are we scraping the barrel now if we're going and trying to?" If we're going and trying to get Manchester City's rejects in Gundogan. And I said, hold on a second. So when we got Kolo Touré, when we got Clichy, when we got Nasri, when we got Sagna, right, were we scraping the barrel? Because they came to City and won as Premier Leagues. And they've done that with you lot. So
I want to move to different callers.
Yeah.
So I really have to move to
no worries.
I have a line behind. But Olu, we'll get you on for a full show, Olu, to be honest.
Yeah, we should do more.
Like 100%. We'll get you on for a full one where we actually rip into you being a deluded
Olu, you're going to win tomorrow, though.
Who are we playing?
Sunday.
Oh, Wolves.
Sunday, sorry.
Oh yeah, 5-0.
So yeah, so guys in the back,
yeah, 5-0.
we don't have a long line. If you want to call in, we have Wyatt next. So Olu, I want to appreciate you calling always. We'll get
All right.
you on a full one. Thank you so
And
much
it's
for
my
joining.
dog.
Dog as well.
Appreciate your call. Appreciate your call.
I saw a question earlier from Joseph in the comments. Who's a better free kick taker, De Bruyne or Kolarov? For me, it's De Bruyne all day long.
Anyway, Kolarov was like top notch, but I can't listen. This is very strange. I am not gonna like compare Kolarov, who's left-footed, to Kevin De Bruyne, and like it's completely like very like strange conversation. Like who's better free kick taker, Beckham or Ward-Prowse? It's like someone plays for West Ham United and someone plays for Southampton. It's like,
But I mean, that's a good question though. To be fair, I'm thinking who is the better
anyway.
free kick
I'm
taker?
gonna add. I know that I have Winter Surfer, Andrew, of course. I have Karl, Arsenal FC, proud Guna in the background. But I want to add Wyatt, who has been available for a bit, and I have Hanu, of course, another one. So Wyatt are you ready, Wyatt, with us? He's ready with us. Wyatt, I don't know where your camera is, my friend. It's just dark.
Can you see me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. Can't
We can
see
hear
you,
you,
but we
yes.
can hear you.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Of course. Well, who do you support, my man?
Man United.
You're a United fan. Oh,
You know, big ups though. You know, much love.
Love.
Repeat. You know,
Congratulations on top 4.
thank you. You know, it's not a trophy, but I'm happy to be back in the Champions League.
Yeah, I feel like one of the things you lot are happy about, and I do get it. It's just that you picked Liverpool to it. I think that made it extra. I don't know if Liverpool hadn't have put the run together and you would have got it over Tottenham. I don't think United fans would have been as happy with getting it. It's the fact you stopped Liverpool from getting it as well.
Yeah, but you see, the thing with Liverpool fans is they do this to themselves a lot. They always do this. You know, oh, I can see Jude Bellingham. You know, he's playing in their shirt tomorrow. Oh, Alexis McAllister, he scored a last-minute winner against us. Oh, you know, Liverpool were getting top 4. Man United are bottling it. Listen, we didn't bottle it. So, and they've been quiet since then. And they do this to themselves. So it's what they deserve, you know?
Yeah, no, listen, I
Wyatt, let me ask
agree
you a
with
question. Why is Liverpool in Man United's heads? Why you didn't celebrate being in a top 4 without mentioning Liverpool?
They're our biggest
I'm
rivals.
talking about your captain. How did you feel
Bruno?
about your captain?
Oh, did he mention it?
Mentioning Liverpool while he is celebrating his club going back to the Champions League? How did you feel about that, being a Man United fan?
Firstly, Bruno, he was asked about Liverpool, so he had to mention them, to be honest. And then he specifically said, it means more to the fans. He said he knows it means more to the fans. He said for them it's just another win. So, I see a lot of people getting wind up about it. Liverpool fans are freaking out about it. Some Man United fans don't like it, but the bottom fact is he specifically said is that it means more to the fans than it does to the player. The players are just looking at it. Oh, we took a step up and we're going to play in the Champions League. And once again, he got asked about it, so it doesn't bother me too much.
No, it wouldn't bother me. I rate him slightly.
I'm actually going through what I read. I didn't watch it, so I didn't know if it was asked. I didn't know if it was asked as 3 questions or not. I didn't watch. I do watch every press conference for every single club. I don't have that much time.
Yeah,
in my hand.
You guys are hardworking. I love the stream so much. Happy to be on here talking with you guys. But yeah,
so what do you want to talk about? Ask us anything or like challenge us for anything.
I wanted to ask you about Inter Milan because you know
really?
Yeah, listen, my friend's a huge AC Milan fan. I'm a Man United fan. Obviously, you both are rivals in the Champions League final. I don't watch as much Serie A as I'd like to, but I do watch a bit of it. I just want to ask you, as an Inter fan, who do you think is your best player? And your most underrated player, because I feel like
my best player for me is Marcelo Brozovic.
You see, I said I think he doesn't get talked about enough. The dude is sensational.
Do you want a controversial take? Marcelo Brozovic is the best regista in the world over the past 2-3 years.
Wouldn't disagree, to be honest, especially with a guy of your ball knowledge. I wouldn't disagree.
No, he's known as a football thicko. He ain't got no ball knowledge.
But yeah, but about that, a lot of people ask me, how do you rate your players? I think I said I rate 4 players in my squad, and I am basing it on the best team at the moment, which is Man City. I said I would have 4 players in my squad that might start for Man City for this particular team under Pep Guardiola, which is Onana in goalkeeper. I think he was on par with Edison. I didn't say who's better. I thought Edison is better with his feet. Onana's good, but Onana's better with shot stopping. So it's a preference there. I think Bastoni is a better left center back than all the people that even better than Ake, in my opinion.
Love Bastoni. Man.
Barella in the midfield would be very good. I think Brozovic next to Rodri would dominate the world football for years, even though Brozovic is only 30. I think these two are the best ball controllers in the midfield in the world. Like over the past 4 or 5 years, like I haven't seen anybody that can control a midfield like this.
Listen,
It's not easy to control Liverpool midfield last year, which is he did in both legs, Brozovic.
So let's see if he can control our midfield.
Well, it's gonna be hard, but if I'm trusting anybody to do it, it's that guy. It's very strange to say that. It's that guy who can actually.
So, just a question off the back of that: would you worry that if he does do that, how old is he?
He's 30.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. Good age as well, to be fair.
It's very good age for that position. You know what I mean? So he is. Barella have more energy than everybody. I think this guy, if he is coached under a position based coach, he would absolutely be one of the best midfielders in the world. I think Bastoni is a top class left center back in a system now with Man City. If they have Bastoni on the left, Walker on the right, and Diaz, there is no stopping that defense at all. There is no penetrating that defense because he's a big guy, left-footed as well on the left, can spray balls long. So I have 4 players, but the rest, my question is the rest. That's a problem. Like, is Lukaku going to be okay? Is Lautaro going to be okay? Is Darmian and Cherby, who are over 32 years old, are going to be okay? That's the question. I don't trust them. Is Dumfries going to be okay?
Do you know, for me, the real talking point in this game? Right, so in the build-up to the final, I've always said in the Champions League when we've been on away days that we are the type of fan base Man City. I don't know anyone that sees or listens to Man City, especially away from home. We sing a lot of our chants are based on old players. Like we'll always sing about Aguero, Zabaleta, and Gerrard slipped, Suarez cried. The Scousers' dream has effing died. City win 5 in a row, and we're all singing Edin Dzeko. Edin Dzeko, Edin Dzeko, we're all singing Edin Dzeko. Now, we sing that every single game, right? And I've always said that probably the first chant we'll sing if we win the Champions League is going to be about Edin Dam Dzeko, right? And now we're playing him. Right, and that just worries me again because it's these little stories that surely not.
So I want to talk to Wyatt. So forget the Champions League final.
Sorry, Mo, just quick. Will he start for you?
He won't for me, but he might start for the coach. But it depends.
That he worries me, man.
Forget the Champions League final. What about the FA Cup final, Wyatt? How do you feel about that? Do you have any chance against this Man City team?
I heard you guys talking about Man United beat Man City earlier, and it was a different Man City. And I 100% agree. And that's what I've been trying to tell Arsenal. These Arsenal fans think this is the same Man City team that they've been toe-to-toe with all season. No, this Man City team we beat. I was so confident going into, even though Rashford's goal. I'm gonna come out and say it was offside. I can't believe how they gave that. But I was confident going in there and knowing that we would win because of our home record. And Man City just didn't look like themselves at the time we played them. But now they're a super team. And yes, to be honest, there's always a chance because, who gave us a chance against Juventus in '99? Who gave us a chance in the final after that? I think we didn't have Kino.
Well, this is not your '99 team, my friend.
Yeah,
but I do get what he's saying, that no one gave him a chance then. Look, it's a cup game.
It is.
It's a cup
I
game.
actually give Man United. I think I give Man United more chance than I give anybody else, just because it's a derby. If it was anybody else, I wouldn't give them as much chance. I would give you 30% of winning this
I think
game,
you can
at
add a
least.
bit more to it as well, Mo. It's not just the fact that it's a derby; it's the fact that it's a derby. And Manchester United, like Manchester United, know right now that if we win that, we're one step closer to doing,
Triple.
their baby. It's their
Yes.
baby. It's like they're invincibles. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it means a lot to Manchester United. This is their chance to. You know what? They want a second. They want a second cup this season, but they've already won one cup this season. They've already done the first trophy in Ten Hag's season. It's the fact that it's a treble in along with a three-peat. It's too close to home for them, and I think it means. But here's the key: that's the fans, and I agree, fans are very important. But Ten Hag also needs to make these players that actually not many of them are United fans. He needs to make them also understand this is important to the club. We can't allow this team to go and get what.
Well, you really think that Alex Ferguson is going to give them? Is it you or Hamza said that Alex Ferguson will give the team talk before the FA Cup final?
Right. I don't think he's going to give the team talk, but I would imagine.
But you think he's going to get involved a couple of days
No,
before the game or something?
right? Yeah. So probably not even on the day. I think. Do you know what? Ten Hag is the type of manager that would not allow another manager to come in and get involved on the day. Yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised if, even if Ten Hag didn't want it. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if slyly someone in Man United's organisation wait for Ten Hag to maybe go to the toilet or something, and then quickly sneak Fergie in and go, Fergie, quick, come, give him a talk. And
Ten Hag is delusional. Ten Hag is deluded, bro.
Take some pictures of it, just so they can post it everywhere. That here's Fergie getting them up for it.
Ten Hag is deluded a little bit because Ten Hag said that I'm coaching players that have won everything, and I kept looking at the squad of Man United. I'm like, there's only one player that won barely anything, which is Casemiro. Everybody else is just
well,
new
that was
to
harsh.
the swing.
You just said that Casemiro's won barely anything.
No. I said the only one that won everything is Casemiro.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody else, because he was talking to Van Persie and he said, yeah, I'm coaching players that know how to win, that won everything. I'm like, not really. You're not. It's only Varane and Casemiro probably. But anyway, I want to Wyatt, anything else you want to add before I have Andrew coming on?
Yeah. I just wanted to say that a day before or 2 days before the Carabao Cup final, Ten Hag went and had dinner with Sir Alex Ferguson. I'd probably love to see that again. We won the final afterwards, and in the final, I just want a good game. I don't want to see my team battered again. I see my team get battered every year. Liverpool fans celebrating their 7-0. I get battered every year. I'm used to this. Not that I like it, but
that's been a trophy this year, my man.
Huh?
Tottenham get battered everywhere they go.
No, we win stuff.
Oh, you do now. You do now.
Big up. I don't want to be talking about trophies right now. We haven't won much.
No. But anyway, really appreciate you coming on. You talk really well, I must say. So
yeah. Thank you. Next time I have a camera so we can put the face to the great talker. Now,
yeah,
it'll be better.
Big up, guys.
Big up. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, guys. We got 150 of you here, and we're not even on 100 likes. So hit that like button so we can go to different people. Of course, I'm gonna have Andrew first to join since he joined. Chelsea fan, of course, Winter Surfer. You know him from the Terrace. You know him with Flawless, of course.
Probably you know him from Never a Foul.
From Never a Foul. I didn't meet one.
So when we first started Never a Foul, and we had actual club channels. So we had a Chelsea club channel, and Winter Surfer was one of the people on it.
Yep.
I have a lot of time for Winter Surfer. A lot of time.
Same to you both. Thanks for having me on, by the way. I do appreciate it.
No, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for calling in.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
What do you want to say? Your club is in the mud. It's not going anywhere. Your club is shambles. You have to get rid of 15, 16 players. Lukaku's coming back. Like, what do you want to talk about?
I've got a question for you first.
Yeah, go.
For me?
No,
him.
For Winter Surfer. Right. So earlier on, I saw a little clip from the Lampard interview.
Oh yeah.
Right, and where he was talking about it's the one where he says basically it's Pochettino's problem.
Yeah.
And do you know what? Probably because I'm a softie at heart, I didn't take it the way some of the tweets were taking it. And
Right.
I think hold tight, Ladimus. Ladimus was obviously saying,
Yeah.
But do you know what? To me, watching it, I actually thought, do you know what? This man just loves Chelsea so much. And he's just being real with it, saying, do you know what? The first time I got the job because no one else wanted it. And I can't turn it down. I think if he was offered any job at Chelsea, that's the way I see it, that he just loves the club. How do you see the whole Frank thing, ultimately?
Well, you didn't see did you see his other quote yesterday when he said, "Oh, the training is not very good," and I was thinking to myself, "You've been there nearly 2 months. That's your job is to train. What are you doing then? If the training's not up to par, what are you doing?" And then I realized this man's not completed his coaching license.
Yeah.
He's not completed it. He's been in the same for 2.5 years since we sacked him. He's on the same licenses.
You know, the problem with that is that I actually held Lampard as the best English midfielder to ever play the football in the modern era.
Right.
But then now, every time I say that, people say, "Yeah, but look at what he's doing at Chelsea." I'm like, why do you mix that with? Why do you mix coaching
that's what I mean. You have
with
to now,
playing? He is destroying his legacy. A lot of Chelsea fans now are hating him.
See, the issue I have with that is I'm not going to let a couple of months destroy 12 years of that. He's the greatest ever player, top goal scorer, scored the goals that confirmed the first title in 50 years. I'm not doing that. He would have to do something really bad. Now, I agree. He was going to. I don't agree he should have taken the job. I think he needs to go away and learn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't think his ego will allow that. That's the problem. You can tell.
Do you know what? I think I feel for him a bit because, right.
I don't. He's a millionaire and I don't.
No, true. But do you know what? Yeah. Right. So let's talk about egos and footballers, right? I get why footballers would have an ego. Yeah. When Balotelli, I think, got asked why do you act the way you do, he said, "I'm a 21-year-old with a lot of money, and I've always, and it's true. Yeah. Like, if you imagine from a young age the way they must be treated, right? It is hard. Now, if you imagine being Frank Lampard, I feel like the fact that clubs keep offering him damn jobs, yeah. Imagine, but joking aside, imagine if you're offered something, right, and you have the choice. You can take this now, or you can go and have something a lot worse and learn, right? There's very few of us that are going to go, no. I don't want what I want to learn to get. I want what I can get now without learning it.
I think it takes... Sorry.
After the Everton thing, in fact, even before the Everton thing, I think you're spot on. He needs, and this is I've said about Vinny when people were linking Vinny with the Tottenham job. I'm like, do not take that job, right?
Too big a step.
Just karma, right? Don't rush because you've been offered it. But I do get it. If you're offered something better and you're offered probably more money, then it's very difficult to turn it down. And I feel unfortunate for Frank. I mean, after the Everton job, the last thing he needed to be offered is the Chelsea job, because that is one job he can't say no to. He loves the club too much. He can't say no to it. And I think you're spot on now. He probably needs 6 months to a year out of the game, concentrate on getting his badges, and then come in at a championship side. And this time, after 6 months or however long, stay with the project and prove yourself with the project, and also grow with the project. Not just prove yourself.
I think it's useless now to talk about Lampard. I really want to talk about the game yesterday. Were you hopeful after the game yesterday? Because I watched you on the terrace. You said there are a little bit of signs, but I want to get rid of 15 players. It's non-realistic. You cannot sell 15 players. It's not going to happen.
I think I said the only way to do it is you have to take what you're given. I said the transfer market now is a seller's market. Apart from us this summer, It's not. We have to take whatever someone offers.
Yeah.
We have to literally sacrifice for the greater good. That's what we have to do. We have to do that. And that's what I said. But the game yesterday, I'm tapped out. Like ever thinking Chelsea are going to do something since Southampton at home. So
When was that?
That was, oh God, what was that? Was that February?
November?
No, it was February. It was the home one. It was the game after Potter came in and like the press conference, and he goes, jokingly, "I've just been in a crisis meeting," because that was.
Oh yeah.
And then that guy goes and loses 1-0 to the bottom side the next day. That's when he should have been sacked. That when he wasn't sacked after that, a couple of weeks, I went, "Nah, it's not. I can't. It's not going to happen." And then Bournemouth, because we went through, because on Lewis's channel we went through, and on Forrest's channel we went through the fixtures, going L, maybe a draw against Forest at home, L. But the Bournemouth one, when the Bournemouth happened, that was fine. It made anyone like go think mathematically, can they get relegated or something like that? Out. I never thought we would get relegated, but I couldn't rule it out. That's the sad part of this season. I couldn't rule it out the moment it got there. And then Bournemouth happened, and then I've just been like, okay, bring on next season. To me, this is now a very long journey. And now we're on the home stretch, and we're nearly at home. One more game, and the season's over with. And that's when I think they'll announce Poch.
Oh, is it not? Hold on. Is it not actually been announced yet?
No,
It's not
I think
even official, bro. It's not.
And Lampard's talking about it in press
no.
conferences.
I think they're going to. I think they want to announce it after the season, so he's not linked to anything this season that's happened. So it's like a fresh slate. So if you do it beforehand, is that it'd be like that, and all this rubbish thing they need to respect Lampard and whatever. Just get it. It's like unofficial, official, but I'm intrigued to see what we do in the summer. I'm more, like Mo said, I'm more intrigued on who we get out than who we bring in. Really,
that's probably something Poch has been doing behind the scenes, though, right?
no doubt.
He's already probably knows.
I think
Like,
you have to
how
do
many
that.
is actually in your squad? Is it?
It's a near NFL size, so probably around. I don't know, but no, it's about 30, 35, I think.
So Poch has probably got 10 that, without even seeing them train, he knows he wants rid.
Yeah, and that even, and you got to add to that, even those that aren't signing a contract, like Mount, stuff like that, he can want to keep him all he wants, but if he's not signing a contract, he has to go. There was rumours, and those have died down though, but rumours of Loftus-Cheek going to Milan, but that's not resurfaced in about a week. So, and then
I haven't seen anything on Kovacic recently, but I had heard that I think he
was linked to your lot, and then
I haven't seen it as much recently.
And then there was some rumours about Bayern Munich. I think he might try and go back.
Can someone guess? Can someone guess without looking how old is Kovacic?
No,
He's
I'm intrigued to know that.
29. He's 29. I think. He's 29.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a City profile, but then,
Bro, I saw Pep play Fabian Duff at left back for a season. I think he could do anything.
look, I mean, Kimmich is probably around a similar age, and we're being linked with Kimmich as well. So I don't know. I think that position at the moment is an interesting one because there's quite a lot of teams in for players that play that role. And I can see City wanting to dodge. See, I'm really intrigued to see where we go this summer, who we go for.
Yeah.
Do you think he goes one more? Do you think he goes one more season with this squad to do the?
No, I think. Well, I don't think he can. I think Gundogan or Bernardo, one of those two is going to go. So we have to get. For me,
Gundogan is going to go to Arsenal. I feel it. Because of the length, not because of anything, but just because they are offering him a guaranteed future, like a 3-year guaranteed money.
I hear you, Mo. I do hear you, but I think right. So if we had to say, I think we would not allow him to go to Arsenal. However, we don't have a say, right? Because he's on a free. However, I don't think Gundogan goes to Arsenal because he's currently Manchester City captain. And I don't think Gundogan is the type of player that would want to shift.
Arsenal is not your rival. They aren't actually. I don't think they are even on the map for you guys.
Then this season they have been, and I don't.
Yeah, but I think they're gonna feel. You
bro,
don't think they're gonna
right,
fall
so
off
do you
that,
think,
that thing?
do you honestly think that Gundogan, right? So you're Gundogan who backs himself 100%, right? Gundogan doesn't think, oh no, I can't make a difference. Gundogan thinks he can make a difference.
Yes.
Do you think of all the choices he has, Gundogan goes, I want to make a difference against the club that I've just spent the last however many years of my life
I
and
think
been
he's
captain?
gonna think about his family and he's gonna move to London. He doesn't have to move to Spain unless there's a family issue and he wants to. Remember, he's German. He is not Portuguese.
I
He's
think,
not Spanish.
I think he wants Barca.
Barca are not offering. If Barca offer him 3 years as well, like Arsenal, and the same money, yes, he would go to Barcelona. But they are not.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It is an interesting one because I mean, ultimately, I made the thumbnail, and that's one that when you look at their great examples, Mount Gundogan and McAllister. Because do you know what? I got asked yesterday because I was trying to defend. Mount a bit, right? And someone said, Daps, because I said, if he goes to Liverpool or Man United, I think he makes a difference as long as he starts. They can't be thinking he's going to be a bench warmer and a squad player because the best of Mount is when he's playing week in, week out. And someone said, Daps, be real. Would you have him at City? And I'm honestly wouldn't be mad if we bought Mount. Now, I'm not here saying I want Mason Mount, but if Pep Guardiola goes, do you know what? I can work with Mount, then I have no doubt that we can work with Mount.
If Pep is smart, this is the last thing before I get Karl on. If Pep is smart, he will get any player from Brighton. Any player would just slot in, like get in the system. You know what I mean? Like, tiki-taka football. It's what we've been training for the past
like
6-7 months.
Like in CISO or something.
Like in CISO, like McAllister, like Caicedo, like anybody. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
He was indeed conversation with McAllister the other night, wasn't he? So he's like,
like, I don't know, man.
I would go even to Webster. Get Adam Webster as a backup. He is play from the back, big defender, knows how to play tiki-taka, knows how to build up play. Why not be a backup?
What about
prove yourself?
What about their left back?
They don't need a left back. They play 3 in the back, my man.
I know, but he could revert back. You know what I mean?
Well, they can come and pay 90 million for Bastoni or something better than Gavardio.
Insensio.
I know that for sure.
Insensio, I just seen. I don't know, man. Look, do you know what? It's one of them ones where I kind of quite like this transfer window because I'm kind of going into it thinking I don't know, and I like that because you know when
opinion. Yes, opinion.
You know when you go into a transfer window and
not be worried.
Yeah, and not be worried that, like, say for example, if we were going into this transfer window thinking we've got to get Haaland or we've got to get Bellingham or we've got to get
Kane. You remember Kane 2 years ago?
Yeah, and you spend your whole summer waiting to see if it's announced. And
for
it's
a
just
saga to end, and I'm like,
I think that's the scary part, though. That's the scary part for the rest of the league. Is that City have won?
I said that people don't believe me, Andrew.
And they don't anyway. But they need to buy this summer as well. That's the scary thing.
Who needs?
I think like that said, if Gundogan goes as silver,
well, if Gundogan and Bernardo don't leave, you don't have to buy.
Right. But I'm saying, okay, so if Gundogan,
because Cole Palmer and Rico Lewis look like first teamers already.
But I can't see. He might think that maybe that's a bit too young in the squad at the same time, and want someone like a bit more.
I think a bit more.
We thought Foden was too young, Andrew.
But the thing is, here's the thing and this is where I'm excited that now. This season, my trust in Pep's gone up even more, and my trust in Caldew,
I wish I'm a Man City fan, man.
And my trust in the board. And this is where I'm excited. But honestly, I wouldn't be mad if Gundogan or Bernardo, if either of them stay, even happier, right? But if either of them go, I'm also intrigued to see if Pep goes, all right, well, do you know what? We are now going to drop Foden deep. And that's what we're going to do, right? And then we're going to bring McAtee back. And McAtee's going to get a bit of a run. I'm just intrigued to see what's going to happen. So anyway.
On the sofa, appreciate you, my man. I need to get Karl on because I got to go for a happy hour with my wife in about like 45 minutes.
Oh, yeah, you always do that on Fridays. And Karl has been waiting. Karl's been waiting
for
very
a while,
patiently.
and I can't wait to hear what he says. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon for sure.
Absolutely. Bye.
Thanks. Appreciate it, man. The next caller is, as it can say, is an AFC. So Arsenal Football Club fan. Karl, is that first time for you to call? You're on mute, my man.
Can you hear me
allowed
now?
to be on mute. Yeah, you've been waiting backstage for however long, so you're allowed to be on mute.
Can you hear me though properly? Because
Yeah.
I've got no
Yeah.
headphones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
no
can hear you all
problem.
good. All good.
Sweet.
Welcome to the show.
First off, I just want to say it's nice to speak to you, Daps, and I appreciate when you help me through my struggles. So I appreciate you, mate. You might not remember, but it was like through Big Steve.
Yeah, I do remember
Yeah.
now. The minute you
And
said it, I
honestly-
know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
And honestly, mate,
We all
you
have to
don't
help
know.
each other, bro.
Yeah,
We all have
exactly
to help
that.
each other. I always say it.
Yeah.
There's a
And-
million people out in social media world that have helped me over the last couple of years. So we all have to
And
help each
I
other.
wonder if you can help Tottenham find a manager.
You know what Kendall said earlier on, right? That she wants them to just do a Royal Rumble now, right? And I said to her, okay, so list the 30 managers. And she said, well, I can't. And then I said, imagine this, that, so did both of you two used to watch wrestling or still do watch wrestling, right?
Oh, when I was younger, yeah.
Yeah, right. And when there's a Royal Rumble, right, the bell would ring and then you'd wait for the music of the person to come on, right? And sometimes you wouldn't see it first because they'd say to them, wait, don't go and show yourself. I said, imagine the bell rings. Then the bell rings, and then all of a sudden you hear, I don't know, Ultimate Warriors music, right? But no one shows their face, and everyone's like, oh, who's it going to be? And out of nowhere, because I swear no one has seen this man for a long time, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer comes walking down. But it's getting that back now. Like managers everywhere just going, not for me, thanks. And this is a problem that I think Tottenham are going to have. Do you know, TalkSport the other day had this, they were talking about Tottenham and how attractive Tottenham are as a club. And then I thought, right, Tottenham don't have their ground sponsored naming rights, yeah? And if you think about it, if you're a company, at this point, would you really want to put your name? Because you can imagine if you're a company and they said, right, we want to sponsor somewhere, and they go, right, okay, well, there's this football club in England that we can sponsor. Great stadium. All right, tell us about the club. Is it really that sellable, Tottenham now?
Yes.
Or is that a
Yes.
myth?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's in London.
It's in London. A lot of tourists come every game. These
Yeah,
they
they've got-
sell out
yeah.
for tourists.
I don't know.
I see
don't know.
your
So what- all
point.
right, so, but
I
the same
said,
thing
but
on
why didn't they
managers-
do it? Because this is how shambles the club has been run for the past 5-6 years.
Yeah, it's bad. It is bad. It's bad.
But Karl,
It's only going to get worse.
Your club, though.
No, the thing is, yeah, I'm the first to say as an Arsenal fan, yeah, that we completely bottled it. And I'll tell you why. And it's because for the last 10 seasons, we haven't had any, what I'd call like proper men. Like this season, we lacked men. And that's what Man City have. And that's why they're so strong. It's the fact that as soon as one head drops, maybe Foden's, Grealish, whoever it may be, they've got 3 men that will smack them around the back of the heads and tell them, do you know where you are? Do you know who you are? And do you know who you're playing for? Get going, boys. And like Jack Grealish, for instance, people slagged him off to the nines. They said he was nowhere near worth it. And you've only got to watch Man City in the Champions League and his performance against in both legs against Bayern Munich. That boy can run with a ball like no other midfielder in the world. He literally floats with a ball. He may not have an extreme output like with goals, but I think that will come with him. And I think next season, Jack Grealish will be one of the front runners along with Haaland. And I honestly believe he's going to push on because he's working with these players day in, day out, Erling Haaland. So he's obviously going to learn. He's going to see what he's doing, how he's doing it. But for Arsenal, we need this season, they need to go out there and they need to spend, in my opinion, 300 million, because that's what it's going to cost to get people that can compete at that, at that level. But it's who can you get? Because you've got, again, Man City, Gundogan, I'll take him all day long. But I don't think
that's a free transfer, so that would be a great one.
Yeah. But I think we need to go out and get like someone like an Osimhen or maybe.
Why would Osimhen choose Arsenal Football Club, Karl?
Because we've got London, We've got money, and they'll give him big money because they give Aubameyang big money. They give Ozil big money. They give Sanchez. Well, they tried to give Sanchez big money, and Man United just offered them more.
Do you know what?
Obviously, there's Man United. Sorry.
The thing is on Osimhen, I'll be honest with you. The reason why, if I was Arsenal right now, I would avoid him is because that deal, right, will take up, right. So you lot are not run like Chelsea, right? You're run well as a football club.
Yeah.
The reason they got Mudryk over you is because of the way you are run and the way they are run, right? They were willing to fly out there. I have no doubt some money's been paid to someone elsewhere, and a lot of weird Chelsea vibe things has happened. Now, with Osimhen and with, more importantly, the Napoli board, if you get involved in that transfer and you're not willing to move like Chelsea, that transfer will take up your whole summer. Right?
Yeah, they'll drag you out.
And you still might not get him. And if you spend your whole summer chasing him and then don't get him and you miss out on other players, Osimhen, right now, I would not. I mean, Mo, you probably know a bit more. They're going to want a hell of a lot of money for him, aren't they?
150 million euros, which is 135 million pounds.
Yeah, see, that's why I said like 300 million. Because I believe nowadays that's what it costs, isn't it?
It's too much for him. In my opinion, I'm watching Osimhen. I don't watch a lot of Serie A, but I watch enough of him to know that he's not worth that much money now. I would go spend, of course, if you're an Arsenal Football Club, you're never going to get Harry Kane, but I would go scout somebody better for like 60, 70 million now. It's going to be an Osimhen. The problem with Osimhen is that means you have to really bench Gabriel Jesus, which is you just spent 50 million on him plus his wage, which is that much for 5 years. You can't do that. That means you're not a well-run club. You can't. You need to get a striker that will score goals, but it's not going to be your box office star. You need to get a midfielder that will be a box
Ivan
office
Toney
star.
would have been so perfect for us.
I still think Arsenal Football Club should go for Ivan Toney, even if he's available from January. You guarantee 100%. To get him cheap. You're guaranteed that he will play from January. The problem is you'll have to negotiate with the FA to reduce the ban from being in the league to actually being able to train in the club, because he's not allowed to train, which is something new.
Oh, for real?
He's not allowed in the English like training grounds, which is very strange. Like you remember Suarez when he was suspended. He wasn't allowed in the club. Otherwise, you'll get fined. It's strange. It's very, very
strange. I suppose it's true though, because like I understand why they do it, but with Ivan Toney, I think it's more he's apparently come out and he's got an addiction, like an actual problem. So I think they should take it a little bit. It's not like he was doing it just because he knew he could. Like he's obviously started, had fun, and then obviously lost control of it. So if anything, he needs to be, seek some counselling and whatnot. And maybe
do you blame him when he's sponsored?
But the money that all of these guys earn, they must all be bored out of their heads.
Yeah.
And not only he's sponsored by betting company, everything around him in the Premier League now is sponsored by betting companies.
Listen,
he is being pushed every minute. Everything around you is not betting in the Premier League. People complain about that.
Yeah,
but I would get personally, I'd get Mitrovic. I'd just chuck some money at Fulham, take Mitrovic because he scores goals for Fulham. So I'm sure in this Arsenal team he'll score goals because we create chances. To be fair. It's just with Arsenal, they've got a weird. Sorry, go on, mate.
With Mitrovic is that with Ivan Toney actually build up play and everything's great as well. With Mitrovic, you are a bit more going for just a straight out and out striker. Just on the Ivan Toney thing. Look, he's made mistakes, other types of mistakes before as well. Even with like interviews saying the wrong things and do you know what? Let's be real. Gambling is an addiction. Yeah, it is an addiction. Same as drug abuse, same as alcohol abuse, same as all other addictions. So, it's mad. The fact he's been betting against his own club and all of that is mad. But I think that tells you my man's got a problem. He has got a problem.
Yeah,
that needs to be
exactly.
100%.
So,
and I think a lot of people misunderstand that as well, that with these big players, especially the biggest players, I'm sure that they've got a lot of issues that go on behind back. And as soon as they drop, one game or two, everyone gets on top of their heads, and it ain't going to be too long before they start hitting some kind of thing to take them away from it all.
Carl, would you swap that challenge for the league this year for a trophy, for a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup final?
If anyone says otherwise, they're not Arsenal fans. Because why did you watch it? Okay, I love Arsenal because I was grown up to. I had no choice. I was born into an Arsenal family, and it was pretty much slapped in my face at birth. So, but I grew up around pure Tottenham fans, and they used to hate me because I could always, my whole childhood, and I'm 31, so I've seen us batter Tottenham. I've seen Henry run the whole pitch. And slide it in. I've seen us destroy them, but then I've also now, in my older age, seen them destroy us and humiliate us. And I didn't ever think I'd see that because as a young boy, Arsenal were literally invincible when I went to school. Like that was something that we could actually brag about. And some fans do they bring it up, but it's not relevant now. That's 20 years ago. They're celebrating it this year with a new shirt that they launched today. They make a massive fuss about that, but then they don't apologise to the fans that have basically been screaming, embarrassing themselves all season to now get to this stage and look like a complete thumb, like me. Like, what do you do? And they're not going to give you the money back. They're not going to thank you even. And they give Saka 300 or 288, which I agree with because you have to keep that guy because if not, he's going to end up at City or and he's going to be doing big things. Martinelli the same. I think he could easily go and push on next season.
I think Martinelli really could. I think Martinelli could.
Yeah, he just needs to lift his head.
Yeah.
If he just looked up when he ran with the ball, I guarantee you it'd be on far better than Saka this season numbers wise. He just doesn't look up.
Yeah,
because he's got that straight to goal.
Yeah,
Carl, I gotta get to another callers because
I appreciate you having me, man. And like I said,
appreciate you coming on, Carl. I'm really good to talk to you, and I hope you're doing well now as well.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Take care.
Big up, my friend. Take care.
Cheers. Bye, mate.
Bye. Sid is next, and
then it's Elias next, I think.
And then it's Elias, and then it's Adrian, and then it's Dan.
We did have Dan, but he's dropped off.
I might have to go at some point in the middle. Sid, how are you?
Sid.
There is no cast for you today, so you cannot batter anybody.
No, it's good. After losing 4-1, it's good.
Oh, yeah, you didn't want to see Cass today. You did not want to see Cass today. But Felix scored.
Nah, it was nothing because the chances we missed, even after scoring, is also embarrassing. Because the amount of chances we missed, I thought I wouldn't care about that match, but I was still pissed. Because when you wait for a match like 12:30 a.m. and watch it till 2:30 a.m., then you might get pissed because you are taking your sleep away.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Well, I'll tell you what,
you
should have. I bet right now, looking at your season, then Sid, you wish you would have got a lot more sleep this season, innit?
Definitely. But I couldn't help because even though I say I don't care, but I can't sleep when Chelsea game is going on, so I have to watch that.
Soon you're gonna be in Canada and you're gonna have to wake up early to watch Chelsea.
Yeah.
What, you moving to Canada?
Yeah. Yes, in August.
Oh, nice. Whereabouts?
Toronto.
Oh, wow. Well, bro, I went to Toronto a few years ago for their carnival. One of my favourite cities. I need to go back to.
I might host you, or Mo will host you in 2026 World Cup.
Well, yeah,
because
I would listen.
Canada, US, Mexico.
When Mo was over here, right? We actually, because Mo knows the cost of flights around America and whatever.
Yeah.
We kind of worked
out
the
math. We worked out how to go around the World Cup.
For me to do something like Mexico, Miami, New York,
New Jersey, Toronto.
Yeah. But yeah, I really would love to. I mean, I've still got to sort out my visa with America, to be fair.
I am also going to apply that from Canada because it is easy to apply from there than from India, I guess.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, would be. Yeah.
Just make sure you got your coats on because it's different than India. I'm not sure how cold it gets in India, but in Canada, in Toronto.
Yeah. I know my friends.
Oh, it's nice when I went. It was the summer when I went.
Yeah, but that's 9 months a year. It's absolutely freezing, like -10, -15.
Yeah,
it's
true.
kind of but listen, I've heard today on the top 6 people talk about Chelsea, and a lot of people said that they're expecting Chelsea to just jump right in the top 6, top 4 next year. Do you agree with that narrative?
I think that should be the aim because the amount what we have spent is around, if we are going to spend around 150 200 million, that would be around 900 million. So that's a lot of amount, and if we are having one game a season, then reaching top 4 is a minimum in my opinion. I'm not going
I
to say that we are going to finish 8th or 7th, even though it's looking not realistic as of now because we are playing crap. But I think that should be the aim when you are Chelsea Football Club.
well,
Yeah,
you think
I think
Pochettino can get it together right away then?
I still have doubts, but it's all about how well we can trim the squad. But I
yeah,
think we are going to do that because
You know
the
you have to
players
do
also
that
don't
before the
want to
end of
stay.
June, right? You know you have to do that
Yeah, yeah,
before the
yeah.
end of June.
Players also don't want to stay here, so that's also an added advantage. That players also want to pack their bags on 29th of May, I guess, and leave as fast as they can.
Do you know anything about Ugarte? People Fraser is asking in the comments.
See, I haven't watched him. I would not say I watched him
I love I
any
love an
bit
honest
because
I love an honest fan, not someone who just watched compilation.
no, but I have heard from streams like you did. Cass was also a fan, I guess, of
I'm
Ugarte,
not. I didn't
and
watch the guy. You don't say you heard it from me.
no, no,
He
no.
didn't catch my eyes.
No. It's about Never a Foul channel. I heard his name. I heard on different platforms about him, but I haven't watched a single bit of him, I would say.
I
So I don't
represent
know,
never a
but
foul, but I don't represent Cass. Let's just put it this way.
I'm not saying, I'm saying just I watched on the channel. It's like I haven't watched him a bit. So if we are going for him, it would be cheap than going for Rice or anyone. And if he is good, then it can help because we need a six. Because Enzo is not going to play there. No one else can. If you have watched the game versus United, the amount of times we were open to 2 on 4, 1 on 4, or 3 on 3, it was because no one was there holding that defensive role or breaking the play.
Yes,
I,
yes. I can't stay for long. I'm so
I
you
know.
can talk. I can't stay for long. But I wanted to. You wanted to talk about something else, or you wanted to talk about
No.
like
I was
Chelsea's.
late today, as I am the first caller, but I
Well,
just
I
came
I
back from
gave
a
the
game.
people earlier more time because there was not a lot of people in the
Yeah.
queue, but it's I have to go early. I'm not
It's
sure
jam
Daps can
packed
hold it
after
down by
me
yeah, I can
also.
himself.
hold it down. I can hold it down.
You can do that, Daps. But if
I'm
you want
good.
to
I
keep
mean,
Sid on,
listen,
it's
I've got a
fine.
new setup. I can see what's going on for once. So
No. I'm going. It's
as soon as
already
you want to
late
drop
there
off,
also.
I'm fine to step in. So
Oh, yeah. Fine. We'll get Elias on and then we'll talk from that. And Adrian wants
okay.
to cook me somehow, so we'll try to get that quickly. But
It's
Sid,
on Mount, and people are going. Teams are going to pay for Mount.
yes, I know that. But anyway, I'm gonna get Elias next and then see where
Okay,
we go
guys.
from
Good
there.
night.
Sid,
Also,
really
Love
it's also
Sid.
appreciate you.
late
Speak
Thank
to
you
here.
you
so
soon.
much. Love you, man.
Yeah, man.
Elias, what is going on? Is that first time for you
Oh,
to call in, my man?
yes, first time at the call in. Yep.
Where are you calling from? I'm really curious about these things.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm actually from Malaysia, but originally
Okay.
I'm from Pakistan. Yeah, but living in Malaysia for the last 8 9 years.
Okay. And
Who
you're
do
a
you
Spurs
support?
fan.
Sorry.
Spurs fan, right?
Oh yeah, it says
Yes, I'm
step
a
up
Spurs fan.
Spurs. I'm
Yes.
sorry, man.
So
I'm
I
sorry.
think I think you would have seen me at Terrace 1 or 2 times, or yeah, or I'm
Yeah,
at
some
usually
phrases
Oh,
saying
I
you've
think
most.
seen me
so.
at the
Yeah, now I
Yeah.
remember. Yes.
Yeah, so or usually I'm on quite a lot of other Spurs channel like we are Tottenham TV, Tottenham Away, and yeah, all that stuff.
Fantastic. So, is your club a top 6 team though? That's my question every time I ask a Spurs fan.
Uh, Big six or top six, first of all. I'd like to
No,
clarify that.
what I
Oh,
say.
that's an interesting way of putting it.
What do you? How do you find top and big?
So top six means that you are
Top is like this,
constantly
big
in
is yeah.
top six, and it means that yes, you're challenging for the top spot, and you are in that position there. Big six means in terms of like your revenue, in terms of how big your stadium is, and all that. and your fan
No,
base
no,
size
no.
and all
Top
that.
six. No, no,
That's
no.
it.
Forget big six is different. Revenue
No,
and
but that's
stuff.
hold
We
on,
can put that
hold on,
on
Mo,
this
Mo,
card.
Mo, Mo, Mo. You didn't listen to him then, right? He explained exactly what you just said. He said
Yeah,
that
so I
no,
say
no,
top
but
six.
you're
now.
saying, yeah, because he's saying, I think what he's ultimately saying is, are we big six? Yes. Are we top six right now? No.
Okay.
Right now, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Top six, we are no
Have you ever
longer a
been?
top
Have you
six.
ever been?
Yes, we have been a top six club for quite some time. Like, I mean, if you consider top six, I think that the seasons when we were under Poch, when we were constantly qualifying for the Champions League positions, and we were in the finals back then, I think we were in the top six. But if you ask about the current situation, no, I don't think we are in the
So
top
do you
six.
think you missed your chance when you signed Mourinho, Conte, and you didn't get over the line? You didn't win trophies. Do you think that was the chance? Like Mourinho said, the only reason why he doesn't hold Tottenham as in the same place as United, Chelsea, Inter, Porto is that the way the club was run and the achievements there and the ambition. Do you think that you missed your chance, or do you still think that you can go forward with another coach or something that can win you trophies?
I think definitely the chances were missed there, but I think if you remember what Mourinho said, the main reason why he didn't like that he doesn't have any feeling for the club is because he couldn't win anything, and also not just that he couldn't win anything, but it's the nature in which he couldn't win it. He was in the cup final, and a week before that cup final, you sack him and bring in a guy who has no managerial experience of managing in big competitions, or what even a cup final against Pep Guardiola. So that just tells you like what Tottenham Hotspur as a club is like. I think all of you can tell, or if you have Tottenham fans regularly, we hate that guy Daniel Levy so much.
Yeah.
Seriously, we hate him.
And do you know
I
what?
received.
Rightly so. But for me,
Go ahead, Dev.
for me, rightly so. Listen, Daniel Levy has run Tottenham as a. You know what? You have to salute him. What you just said there about when. Remember, you said, "Are we a top six or a big six?" You have to salute Daniel Levy if you care about being a big six, because you are a big six club because of Daniel Levy, right? Single-handedly, Daniel Levy has made Tottenham bigger than they actually are, right? As far as when you mean big, you're meaning revenue, you're meaning fan base, you're meaning, and that's Daniel Levy. Daniel Levy's marketing, getting NFL involved, bringing in players like Son that brings you, all those fans in other parts of the world. He single-handedly has made Tottenham a success of a business, right? But I also totally understand why Tottenham fans would hate him from the day that he got rid of Jose Mourinho a week or so before a cup final. That is basically saying, I don't care about the fans and I don't care about trophies. I'm doing this for whatever reason. And I think from that point, I think that's probably where Tottenham fans thought, yeah, we've had enough of this guy. This guy's not allowing us to, because you really could have, you really could have won a trophy that year. You really could have.
Yep, we could have won a trophy that year. But I would like to bring up you brought up a really interesting point. Like, yes, a lot of fans do think that yes, Daniel Levy has brought us to the point that yes, we are in the big six. However, I think we need to understand as well, like when you are in that position of being a big six club, you're generating a revenue and all that. Again, when you are a football club, your biggest asset or your biggest product is actually your success on the field, on the pitch. How much you're winning, how well you're doing as a team. A lot of other factors, like let's say if he brings in NFL, if he brings in players like Son Heung-min, yes, he can get some Korean fans there, and generate quite a lot of income there from the shirt sales and all that, and becoming big with the big stadium and all that. But again, if let's say you are constantly a club that's not winning anything, and almost it comes to a point that yes, you are a mid-table club, you still need to be concerned that yes, would that big six status be maintained over time? And if we as Tottenham fans, we think about it, yes, to a certain extent, Daniel Levy has taken quite a lot of shortcuts, the easier ways to still get you in the big six. But if we see on a longer run, if the same thing continues, will we be in the big six? I don't think so.
Yeah.
If you're not winning things, like let's say, I don't know, maybe in UK or in those countries in North London, mainly Maybe teams support their team because it's in their family, or it's in their culture, or they're just born with it. But I mean, for myself, for international fans, sometimes we support teams with the state that we are with the teams that are winning things, that are doing well in the competitions, that are constantly at that
Do you
level,
know what?
challenging,
Can I just
up.
can I just say
Yeah.
something on that? Right. And this is a cultural thing, and I'm not knocking it one bit. I salute you for owning that. Yeah.
Yep.
And the reason why I say that is because in this country, what you just said, right, you would be seen as, oh, so you're glory supporters. Now, no, because cultures are different in different parts of the world, right?
Yep,
And I
exactly.
salute that you're coming on here and saying, because I always think, and right, here's the other thing. Would you also say that it's relevant to do with the style of football as well? You could also be, I like this club because of the style of football. So as you're growing up, what team shall I support? This team plays good football and it's successful when you're 5 years old. Therefore, I'm going to support this team.
Yeah, I think various factors as well. Some countries, like let's say the Italian style of football. A lot of Italian, they prefer that sort of style, the defensive style as well. No matter where they go, they like that particular defensive style. But let's say if you talk to the UK fans, especially the Tottenham fans, if you speak to them, they don't like that sort of style. Like let's say when we had Antonio Conte recently, Tottenham fans were the one who really disliked that particular style to a certain extent, and they say that okay, this is too defensive for us. They were not even fans of the style of football that we were playing under Jose as well. But then again, what is the attractive style of football, or what is that attacking style? I think if you consider that, I guess it's the kind of football that this season we saw Arsenal playing, or the City playing this season, the kind of football that wins you things again still. But if you look at other teams as well of the other part of the world, like the way Inter plays, Inter's football can be pretty much quite a bit of pragmatic approach as well. The way they have done in Champions League this season,
Not
they have,
true,
I think,
but yeah, fine.
Are you? Maybe this season not true.
Mo's rattled, but he needs to go. Go on, Mo, let it out.
Yeah, let it out.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm just
because I watched Inter very little.
I wanted to comment on what Daps said. There's a lot of, I'm sorry, Daps. There's a lot of Man United fans from London. There's a lot of Liverpool fans from London. There's a lot of Liverpool fans from different parts of England. You think these kids, when they grow up, they saw their local team, whoever, it was Leeds, it was something, and they chose to support Leeds? No, they chose to support the team that was winning. People
I agree, bro, but
it doesn't only go, because I hate this notion that it only goes for international.
Mo, you haven't listened to everything I said, right? You do this sometimes, right? I agree with you, but the difference is that in this country, those fans are instantly labelled glory supporters. Whereas what I saluted was the fact that in a different culture, it's fine. That's what you do, right? Whereas in England, oh no, that's frowned on. You don't do that. You don't support a team just because they win. Whereas,
but if you're young, you choose Daps. If you're a kid, 5 years old, you watch football. You are drawn to the football that you like.
Agreed.
Even where you're from, unless your dad takes you, like your dad, like I'm not gonna call it because your circumstances are different. But a lot of people, their parents took them to Brighton, and they just supported that club because they were emotionally attached to that club. But some fans in England, in different parts of England, weren't going to stadiums, so they were watching football and they chose to support Chelsea, Man United.
But Mo, I get that. I agree with you. What I'm saying is, it does happen in England. I'm not saying it doesn't happen in England, but I'm saying in England, we like anyone that does that can't own it. Whereas the way Avram came on and basically said, in here, I reckon you could be a 20-year-old. And if you decided at 20 years old, you want to support this team because they're successful, that's fine. They own it. Whereas over here, you can't do that, bro. You can't do that.
I gotta go, guys.
And it's a culture.
There is gonna be a lot of stuff happening in the background. Don't worry about me, Daps. Don't worry about me, Elias. Daps is gonna take it from here. I'm gonna have you both on the screen.
Yeah.
So don't worry about me. I'm just gonna have to edit stuff in the background before I go you guys to have a good. So the order, Daps, is Adrian. Then
and could you remove the link from the?
Yes, I will do that
Lovely,
now.
thank you. And as for
Yeah,
the
so
comment,
I was actually going to
Daps
add on
started
to that.
supporting. Sorry, the one comment: Daps started supporting City in 2011. No, I started supporting City in 2021.
Ignore that guy. He's a troll. He comes on our
Oh
channels.
no, 2021, summer of. Anyway, yeah. One more thing. Anything else you want to speak on? Who do you
I
want as
wanted to talk
manager?
about that. Sorry, I want to talk about that since you brought up a very good point regarding the whole thing about supporting Tottenham. So when I started supporting Tottenham, I was 20 in Malaysia under Nuno. That time, I would be very honest. Like that particular time, I liked the way that Tottenham was playing under Nuno. The first 2-3 games, and it was for me. It was the style of football as well, really, that I liked. And then I researched a bit on the club's history, club's culture, and all that. So some of those factors really played a big part in me becoming a Tottenham supporter. So it really depends sometimes from individual to individual. But when I say that, yes, when a lot of people support a club in terms of their glory, in terms of their trophies, you have to look at the bigger picture as well. Like the players that are coming in as well. Because if you are winning things, definitely you're attracting big names like, let's say, Messi, Ronaldo, or all those big names basically would be coming to your club. Like if you're a club like Tottenham, I don't think many big players would want to come into that club. Like let's say even in Malaysia, like a couple of years ago, you would hardly see anybody wearing that team's shirt, like the Al Nassr shirt here. But recently, when Ronaldo has gone there, wow, you see people actually wearing that. Because Ronaldo has gone there, so glory does play a big role on a wider level.
Do you know? So even here, when I moved from Manchester down to where I live now, when I first moved,
now?
So I lived in a place called Bedford, which is kind of about 25 minutes north of London.
Okay.
So when I moved down here, I could not get a City shirt anywhere. I couldn't get any City, anything City, right? Because I had to get either one when I go back up to see my sister, or two, my sister would send it back down, or if I was going up there for games. But ultimately, day-to-day basis, no City merchandise anywhere. And then one day after we'd won our first league, I was in a place called Clinton Cards, which is a card shop for gift cards, right? And they sell, calendars at Christmas and mugs and stuff like that. And I was kind of just queuing up to buy some cards. I looked to the right, and all of a sudden I saw loads of City calendars, City scarves, City mugs, and I kind of smiled. Then that summer, I went to Barcelona. No, in fact, sorry, 2 summers later, when Pellegrini took over, I went to Barcelona, and I was in a Nike shop in Barcelona, and there was obviously a massive, massive Barcelona section, and then the second biggest section in that shop, bigger than Atletico Madrid, obviously bigger than Real Madrid, was a City section with shirts with Aguero on the back, shirts with David Silva on the back. And I started filming it. And my wife at the time was like, what on earth are you doing? I said, this is crazy. I never used to be able to even get City shirts in Bedford. Now I'm in Barcelona, and like a quarter of the shop is dedicated to my club. This is mad. It's spot on that the minute you're successful, it's thrown in people's faces. And then,
yep, it does.
Like, you don't know about it. So one last question before we move on. Manager-wise,
I think you all would have heard the latest news that Arne Slot was firstly very much interested in joining Spurs, and suddenly he has pulled out, and then he has recently signed the contract for 1 more year, I think, with Feyenoord, I think until 2026, and that has been a major blow. Look, first of all, I would like to clarify this. I think no matter which manager come into Tottenham Hotspur at this point of stage, it's gonna be a difficult job, definitely. It's gonna be not easy, and as long as Daniel Levy is in there, and as long as he is involved there, he would not let any manager have easy time, or he would not let any manager have a good project in terms of managing Tottenham Hotspur. So.
Do you think that's impacting? Do you think that's impacting? Because I kind of thought that I thought almost like Conte's final words were almost that was, I don't know how to, I'm trying to look for a saying to say, but ultimately that was the final shot, because that was almost, I'm going, but any future managers, be careful what you walk into here. And do you
Yeah,
think that's put
exactly.
off a lot of people? Is put them
Yeah,
off
exactly.
because
I think Raymond Vega, he recently put on a tweet as well, and he was saying that someone like Levy or all these people, the Tottenham board, they need to be aware of the fact that the technical football world is not as big as you think. It's a very small world. Let's say if someone like Conte and someone like I can give you an example. Recently during the World Cup, you know that some of these players, the ex-players, the ex-managers, they come on and they visit different countries and they then get invited by channels and then they organize meets and greets and all that. I met 4 ex-Tottenham players and one of them used to be in I think their management level as well. And I was talking to some of them. And 4 of them, I asked this question, like, how is it like working with Daniel Levy? The main thing that they all say, the guy doesn't know anything about football. Like he's not a footballing person, but the fact that he's a micromanager, he's every single day at the training ground, and he interferes in the he's according to 3 of them, he's every single day at the training ground interfering with the footballing decisions of the clubs, which is like, why is he doing that? And he's quite a lot involved in the transfers as well. So if they are not afraid to tell that to an ordinary fan like me, in a meet and greet, what do you think that they don't discuss these kind of things in their own footballing circles, and then people get to know about the details of what happens in the club? When they discuss about that, then definitely the managers who know about that, they wouldn't want to come to Tottenham Hotspur as a club. Like they know that yes, it's a graveyard for the managers. So, and Raymond Vega was saying the same thing, that yes, I think now what has happened over the last 3 or 4 managers, it has kind of revealed what Daniel Levy is all about. And if any manager want to come in, they are basically ending their career. And coming back to your question, I think very likely, I think the Celtic manager might end up at Tottenham Hotspur.
I heard today, I think I've seen today that he's ruled himself out.
Oh, he has ruled himself out as well. That's a step on Daniel Levy's face again. Like Ange Postecoglou, why I was saying that he might be the one who would be coming out. Now, according to my latest news, that he said that he will leave Celtic for Tottenham this summer. It's around 5-6 hours.
I saw something around midday today that apparently, look, it's all whether it's true or not, but that
it's like a 5-6 hours ago type of news that
I saw that he'd committed himself to stay at Celtic, but I don't know. It's a hard one. Look, if when Vincent Kompany was linked with you, I kind of thought it's a hard one because I totally understand why anyone at certain clubs would look at this job and go, it's a step up, but it's a risk. It's a massive risk because you're going there. I always thought when Conte joined you, it confused me when I think he joined you around October, November time.
Yeah, it was end October, around that time. And
then early January or late December, in an interview, he said he got asked about the transfer window, and he said, "I'll have to have conversations with the board and find out what they're going to offer me for the transfer window." And it confused me.
It was Burnley game when we were playing, when we lost to Burnley 1-0, I think it was away.
And it confused me. No, I don't mean this year. I mean last year. So when he joined you,
I'm talking about that.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. And it confused me because it was like, hold on a second. Surely, being Conte, and everyone knows Conte likes to spend money, and surely this conversation has happened. And it just makes me think that, I mean, even if we go back to the whole Harry Kane thing, the fact that, Levy promised Kane that if someone came in for him, he'd let him go and whatever else. It does seem like Levy will tell people one thing, but then do the other. And I just think it's a massive, massive risk at Tottenham. And I think now they have to get it right. So we'll see. Anyway, listen, Elias, it would be great for you to join us more as well. It's been a really good call.
Yep.
Great having you on.
Surely, I would love to, guys.
Do you want to tell everyone where they can find you quickly?
Yep. So you can find me on Step Up Spurs. My channel name is Step Up Spurs. I usually do streams regarding Spurs, but lately I've started having quite a lot of other Premier League club fans as well. They come on and then we do some streams for and discuss here from other clubs as well, how they are doing and all that. I've got a couple of Newcastle friends, even some Arsenal friends. They join me quite regularly now. So you can find me there. I do streams, one midweek and one I do it over the weekend. Yeah, if you would like to check it out, go ahead and find me
Okay,
there.
brilliant. Love.
Yep.
And hopefully we'll see you on here more often. Appreciate it.
Yep, we'll see you guys more often.
Cheers. Bye now.
Cheers, mate.
Right, people, we got 2 more callers. Oh, this is mad. Me hosting a show. Who let me do this? This could be mayhem. Listen, there's a couple of comments, right, that are saying get the badge in, right? And hold tight, Lexi, Cam's daughter, my good friend Cam's daughter. She always pulls me up whenever I put stuff on my story. If the badge is in, she'll straight away say get the badge in. I just had Thogden do the same thing, message me saying get the badge in from my story where I'm just promoting this show. And a few of you said it. Is there something going around this whole get the badge in? Is it like a saying or anyway? Just in the comments, let me know. Right, who have we got next? We've got Adrian up next. People, there's still 110 of you in here. If you could still keep an eye on those likes. If your like button is not lit, then smash it. Let's get in. We're going to go for another maybe 10, 15 more minutes. So let's get Adrian in. Hello, mate. Thanks for being patient. I know you've been waiting backstage for quite a while, so thank you.
No worries, man. No worries. Is the mic working?
Yeah, can hear you all good. Can't see you, but it doesn't matter. We can hear you.
What? No, this is the first day I've got proper lighting and stuff.
Well,
the Wi-Fi working.
Still not working, but it doesn't matter.
Man.
As long, I mean, and if you're sat there naked, it's hold tight, Steve. It means you're.
Nah. I still remember that Saeed one. That was crazy. But yeah, nah.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, if you're sat there naked, that's your business. As long as you don't turn your camera on. Hold tight, Steve, watching right now. And Steve, listen, I wear so much Stone Island because you're not blessing me with enough Terrace Cult. So, you know, when I see you tomorrow, make sure you that boot of yours is stocked up with plenty of extra large and we move. Right. And especially that new sky blue polo. And people, just quickly on this as well with Terrace Cult. Terrace Cult, it is, I think someone said it's Manchester's very own. It's Manchester's very own Stone Island. Link in the corner, the QR code. Scan that; it'll take you straight to it. NAF 15 on checkout. Great quality clothing. The brand is getting bigger and bigger, so go and support that. Right then, what do you want to talk on, Adrian?
Listen, bro. Listen, I think here's the thing. I was going to talk about some things, but there've been a lot of callers on. I've covered a couple of points here and there. So first of all, I want to check how you were doing, man, because it's been a while since I talked to you, man. I think the first time we properly talked was that January transfer window, that crazy window, because I think that people have forgotten how crazy that January transfer window was. Like the amount of signings that were in that window was like quite mad. For a normal January transfer window, it's not meant to be like that.
Nah, listen,
but yeah.
January time, I've spoke on where we were as a football club in January. Manchester City in January weren't in the best of places. But
you were telling me like you had a problem about the mentality of the court,
yeah, 100%.
and everything.
Listen, Pep called it out as well. Pep called it
literally,
out.
Yeah. Like, you know how mad that is to say that now from that point.
Look, like, I'll always say how I felt as a person. In what's it called? In after the Tottenham game. After the Tottenham game, the day after we faced the charges thing. It's mad. And to think that Pep used where we were then. You know what? If we weren't where we were in January, would we be where we are now? Because when we lost to Tottenham and the day after we and do you know what? The thing about that loss to Tottenham was the performance. The performance was a bit spineless.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, like it looks like. Yeah.
And then the next day, obviously, the next day we then had the charges come out, and Pep basically used the performance to call out the players, and he used the charges to galvanise the players and bring everyone at the club together. And I think from that point we've just gone on and on and on.
So it's interesting. A lot of people say that to me, and then others will say. Pep was tweaking it a bit even before that, so maybe they would have clicked into gear anyways. Maybe accelerated things.
He was tweaking the format, the formation, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I found a picture from the Everton game where we drew that I'd sent in my WhatsApp group, and basically I was sending it to Ty and Cass, showing where Rico Lewis was playing. Saying this is mad. Rico Lewis, whenever we have the ball, is sat next to Rodri, right? And I found the picture where I'm putting the arrow to show where Rico Lewis was. That was in December the 31st. But I think Rico Lewis is an 18-year-old. I think Pep was getting the formation right, but he didn't have the right personnel because then he had to question the players and the belief of the players and who really wanted it. I think
Like Kyle
getting rid of
Walker wasn't starting
Cancelo.
at the time, was
Yeah, he wasn't starting at the time now.
Yeah.
But yeah, who is it you support again, Adrian?
So yeah, I am a Chelsea fan. That's why I've said like you have quite a few Chelsea callers on. I thought they've kind of covered a lot of stuff, anyways. Like there's a lot of talk about the defensive midfielder search, which is going to be tough this summer, unfortunately, because everyone wants a defensive midfielder.
Yeah,
it is what it is. It's the most valuable position in the world, in my opinion, apart from probably
agreed.
striker.
I agree with you.
Because I think
look at Liverpool as a perfect example.
Yeah, so that game, Chelsea versus Man United. Listen, I knew we were going to lose because look at our manager, and he has a terrible defensive structure. Right, the thing that I love about everyone's talking about Fofana, I would love to hear what people thought about Antonio Rudiger and Frank Lampard. I would have loved to hear what people thought because I remember there was a period of time where people thought that Chelsea should sell Antonio Rudiger and he was a flop.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they put a competent manager in and he's world class. All of a sudden, a click like that. And then he goes to Real Madrid and people thought, you know what, he should have started against Real Madrid. He pocketed hard or something like that.
First game, he was really good against us.
Yeah, it was. He's just a very physical, imposing defender, and he's got that mentality, man. Like,
yeah, I think that's why him and that Chelsea team with him and Thiago Silva, I think that works so well because you've got a bit of both.
You know who also came in and was like a very underrated part of that defense because I think that defense score considered the fewest goals in the history of the Champions League or something like that. It was quite an underrated defense. Like, I think Christensen was a very underrated value because what he was able to do, he kind of had attributes of both Silva and Rudiger, but he just wasn't as consistent. So he was kind of just like that connective piece where like he would come in a game here or there and he would pull off like a man of the match display here or there. Like, I remember he got a man. There was a game where we almost won against Liverpool and we had that crazy red card. I think Reece James got like a red card.
That was right out of the book of Jamie Carragher, that.
Yeah, like...
The way you just said, there was this one game against Liverpool, we almost won.
Like, because it was like a draw, but it was like the weirdest game I've ever seen in my life, right? Like,
so you drew?
We drew, but you know what it is? Like, I just couldn't believe what I was seeing that day. Some of the lines I saw for offsides that day, I couldn't believe it. Like...
Oh, you can believe that. Come on, you can believe
man,
that. This is the Premier League.
Hey, man. Listen, I'm hearing certain leagues don't want to pay for goal line clearances anymore, but it is, man. It was crazy, man. And it was just one of the... Here's the thing. Those centre-backs individually, now people are looking back at them. I think everyone knew that Thiago Silva was a good centre-back, but I think when he came to the Premier League, I think he surprised a couple of people here or there, just because like he was old when he came in and stuff, and he still continued that to a certain extent, but I think everyone knows eventually he's going to have to be replaced.
Yeah.
My issue is I think so long as you get the right defensive midfielder in there, I think our defense will be fine. Because after this battering, we've still got the fourth best defensive record in the entire league, which is actually insane. We've just been
really? That just says how atrocious you have been. But do you know what? The maddest thing is, I remember Ty and I having this conversation just I think as the first transfer window of the season shut. And I think we did have it on the show briefly, and we were both saying that on paper, if you looked at, and this is on paper, people, this isn't me saying,
100%.
But on paper,
not everything's not pen on paper, but go on.
You look at Chelsea's defence, and you've got Kepa and you've got Mendy, right? So two goalkeepers that you'd say competent, right? Certainly for the money you spent on them. Then you've got Reece James, young. Then you've got Aspilicueta, older but experienced. Then you've got, and I'll just name three instantly. You've got Thiago Silva, you've got Koulibaly, and you've got Fofana, right? There are other centre backs I think you've got at the club as well. What's Trevor Chalobah?
Trevor Chalobah, yeah.
Yeah. Then on the left, you've got Cucurella and Chilwell, right? So defensively, on paper, that's probably one of the most balanced defensive squads you could have, right?
Yeah.
But
I think Here's the thing: that
I
if you
think
have,
ultimately it's just this season you've been changing about the coach too much, and I honestly think this
you just need
summer's so
stability.
big for you. This summer's massive for you with Pochettino. He has to
Yeah.
go in there. He does have to clear the squad out. He has to know
100%.
exactly what players he
Outgoings are
wants
more
to work
important
with.
than ingoings. 100%. You
Yeah.
have to get more out than in. 100%. Like, here's the thing.
And do you know the problem is? I think the other thing is that what you can't have this summer is as Pochettino's getting rid of players, you can't have Mr. Todd Bowley getting excited and bringing players in.
I think here's the thing, right? I think we can't. The very most we bring in 2-3 players. That's the very most we can do, right?
Yeah.
Because as much as I can understand the amount of money we've spent and stuff, my biggest issue with this team is the core. The way you win a Premier League or you win games consistently in the Premier League is the strength of your core of your team. So if you imagine Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, you can see what Haaland, De Bruyne, Rodri, Edison. You get me?
Yeah.
I feel like we've probably got the defenders of the core to fill that core role, but everything else is just bare bone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yes, outgoings are number one priority for us, but we also have to address parts of the core in this transfer window. And I do, the one thing I think I'm very thankful of is I think the news came out from Fabrizio and from Matt Law that Todd Bowley basically said, "No, I'm not dealing with transfer business anymore. I'm off. I'm letting these guys deal with it." And I've got my own concerns.
I think that's what. Do you know what? One of the best things that you could have, right?
Yeah.
Is if Todd Bowley, because the way he's back in your club is what any fan would want. Yeah. It's just if he was to almost get bored of this toy and go back to his investments in America and just say, "Yeah, let me know what checks I need to sign, and you lot run."
Yeah.
That would be the best
here's
thing.
the thing. I think that's what his initial plan was. It was just the way in which the club was taken over was just such a crazy scenario. I think the initial plan was for Marina Granovskaya to stay another year, and then he'd hire his guy in, and then they'd slowly transition out of the old regime. But apparently, of course, we had Boris as flicking prime minister as well, and help it. But I think the idea was anyone related to Roman Abramovich essentially had to be removed from the club.
Yeah.
So that basically meant any sort of the hierarchy was immediately removed.
Yeah.
So
and look, if I look at Manchester City, God bless Sheikh Mansour, right? God bless him, what he's done and brought us as a
100%,
club.
He's run that club very well.
Well, here's the thing. He's owned the club very well. And what he's done is he's entrusted in Khaldoon. Khaldoon is his right-hand man in everything, not just in Manchester City. Khaldoon is his right-hand man. Is
he the guy on all the videos at the end of the season?
Yeah. So if you imagine Aladdin, right?
Okay, I see where you're going with this. Go on.
Right. Yeah. You've got the king, then you've got his advisor. Yeah. That basically the king the advisor runs everything. The king's just the powerful one, right?
Yeah.
And that's what Khaldoon is. If anyone, I'd recommend anyone that hasn't already, if you ever Wikipedia Khaldoon, just to understand how much this man is involved in, right? He's one of these people where I don't know how you honestly think he must have 48 hours in a day, right? He's on the board of Ferrari, the board of New York University, on multiple different boards. He's got equivalents of Nobel Peace Prizes for bringing.
I think he's like a silent partner for a couple of those.
He's probably is.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, the guy's clearly very wealthy, but he's also, if you ever hear him talk on football, he gets football as well. And the thing with me is that I often say, who's the most important person at Manchester City? Now, people will say Pep Guardiola. I'd say no, because someone hired Pep Guardiola. Someone put in this whole structure and didn't only hire Pep Guardiola, but they hired Pep Guardiola and made sure that Pep Guardiola had all of the right people around him for the club to be run so well. And I think Brighton's another great example of that. The fact that Brighton have had managers leave, they've had recruitment teams leave, but somehow the people that come in and replace them just seem to pick up the baton.
So here's the thing
with
Brighton and with your ownership. What's interesting is basically Brighton. The way they run is, I think their owner is he's similar to the Brentford owner, where they've created their own sort of database.
Yeah.
their own algorithm. So no matter who goes in or who goes out, the algorithm still stays the same.
Yeah. God.
So it's quite
Listen.
genius, really. They just use those
listen,
numbers.
algorithms. If you can create an algorithm, goddamn, you're a genius.
So they have this
Like,
constant rotating machine, and they just look at stuff which, like, oh, this team in
numbers.
They literally, they just look at this team. Oh, this team in Italy averaging this much XG and stuff. Let's bring that manager in.
And do you know, a life coach once taught me that our minds are like computers, right?
Mhm.
That to get the perfect question, you have to ask. Sorry, to get the perfect answer, you have to ask the perfect question, and the perfect question has a binary answer, a 1 or a 0, a yes or a no, right?
Yeah.
Numbers, right? To get perfect answers, it's numbers. It's numbers. So if you can create an algorithm that ultimately can work out probabilities and do all of that, sensation. Anyway, listen, we need to move on. Reese, I'm going to come on to your question, but Adrian will be doing another call-in show. I'm not too sure when, but great to have you on, and hopefully you'll jump on that one as well.
Love to you, man.
Love. Right, people, just going to get into people. There's still 115 of you watching. Love for staying on. We're nearly hitting the 2-hour mark. Got one other person. Salute to them for staying on. I know they've been backstage for quite some time. Before we get into that, I just want to quickly, firstly, put up this super chat from King Juice. Big up from the States. Congratulations on the excellent season. What's your midfield wishes for next season? Do you think it will be a mass exodus in the summer? Now, I'm presuming you're talking about my club. So I think Laporte will leave in the summer. I think Gundogan's not sure yet, and Bernardo we're not sure yet. I think something that's very important is if we win the Champions League. So I think if we win the Champions League, Gundogan and Bernardo might be, we've done everything we can at this club now. Now it's time to move on. If we don't, who knows? Because we have to remember with Bernardo Silva, people, that yes, Bernardo eventually wants to get back to his side of the world. And I honestly think that's probably something to do with life, wife, happy life, happy wife vibes and all of that. But the key with Bernardo Silva is someone needs to offer us something first, because all last season, Barcelona wanted him. Not once did they offer anything. So Bernardo Silva, that's an interesting one. And as for Gundogan, hands are tied on that. We'll just see. For me personally, I'm no longer going to go into the summer like I have previous seasons saying this is what I want. What I do know is I trust our board 100%. If Gundogan goes, it will be the right decision. If we give him a 2-year extension, it will be the right decision. I trust the board so much. And it's kind of exciting going into a summer with no expectations. You know what? Imagine Bernardo Silva and Gundogan go, and Pep decides I'm dropping Foden and Grealish into 8 roles, and I'm going to go and buy 2 new wingers. It could happen. And do you know what? I trust our manager and our board so much. That's my expectations. But really appreciate the super chat from you, King Juice. Thank you very much. And then Reese, I thought I would come to this one as well. I know you wanted to jump on, but we had to end the call in. So, and we do have one more. We've got Ori who's going to jump in a minute. So this one is. Wanted to ask Daps a question. Who do you think will actually play Akanji or Ake in the finals? Personally see Akanji starting due to recent form plus Madrid and Bayern. I'll probably go with what you said there. I think when Ake first got injured, and it was a hamstring, I was a bit like, ooh, we can't be rushing him back. And maybe looking at it, maybe we did rush him back a bit. Look, I don't know. Do you know what? I don't know if Ake's in training. If he is, Ake might maybe get some minutes tomorrow, and that could tell us on Sunday maybe, and that would tell us a lot. Listen, I can't pronounce anything right, mate. I pronounce fajitas wrong. I pronounce everything wrong. I'm the stereotypical English, can't pronounce nothing right. But yeah, anyway, with Ake, I don't think we can rush him back because match fitness is a thing. And we've got 2 massive games. But I think first, before we even talk on that, we need to see who plays against Brentford. Because I think if Ake doesn't start against Brentford or doesn't even get minutes against Brentford, maybe if we're 2-0 up against United, touch wood, we might bring him on for the second half or something. But I don't know. We'll have to see. You know what? my trust is now in Akanji. He's earned my trust this season. So, but great question, Reese. Right, let's get Ori in. Hello, mate. Thank you for staying with us. I know you've been backstage for so long, so I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. How's it going? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you all good.
Oh, wow. So, I
Where
think
you
I
calling
spoke to you. I'm calling from India. I
Okay.
think I spoke to you once, like briefly on Instagram. You
Okay.
went a little personal about your life, but yeah, anyways, I don't want to go there. So
No,
I've
I'll
lived
do that
abroad
with
my whole
anyone, mate.
life.
I'll tell anyone that wants to listen about my life.
Right. So I'm a City fan, and I've been supporting City since 13, 14. So people are going to come and tell me, oh, you started supporting cities when the oil money came in. I don't give a shit. All right. I wanted to support a team that wins, you know? So at the end of the day, if they're winning, great. And they're playing free flowing football, possession based, and it's beautiful to watch, you know? And that's how football works right now. People just want to watch football, you know, competitive sports, and a team that's winning consistently. You know what I mean, right? It's not a bad thing. Like, oh, you're a glory hunter. Cool. I'm a glory hunter. I don't
Do you
give a
know what?
shit.
So you're the
You know what I
second
mean?
person on this call that said that.
Yeah.
Look, I'll be completely honest with you. Over here,
Yeah, bro.
it's different, right? It is different. I've seen it, right? When you're young over here, you have this window where you're allowed to choose who you support.
Right.
Once you get to
Yeah.
a certain age, you best not change, right? You're not allowed to change.
Yeah.
And
I'm
one
not
of the
gonna.
things that gets- but
Yeah.
but we have to understand different cultures are different, and I totally get it. Look, do you know when you're really invested in a football club losing can really impact your mental health. It really, really can. So I do
I hear you there.
understand
Yeah.
why some people might go, I don't want to be put through that. Like football is supposed to be your football.
As long as you enjoy it, and
Huh?
you know you stick by the team that's winning. Like for me, I stick by a team that's consistently winning, and the way they're playing football, you know, with all these amazing world class players around, like Gundogan in the middle with Rodri, and then the way Pep integrated Akanji and Ake, you know, on the sides. It's amazing to see the way he just sort of adapts to new situations.
Yeah.
And I like that about the way Pep is like finding new ways to integrate his ideas. Like, look at that. He's a glory hunter.
Yeah, look,
I love you,
and here's
brother.
the thing.
I love you.
Sorry, just to go a bit further
Yeah.
on this. Here's the thing from where I see it. Right, is I have the luxury of being a game-going fan. Right?
Wait, sorry, Daps. Are you disgusted, by the way?
Am I disgusted?
Yeah.
No, listen, bro, I've spent this whole show speaking about different cultures.
Yeah.
What I
Exactly.
can say
Yeah.
is, and here's the thing, that for me, I'm a game-going fan because I have the luxury of being a game-going fan. When you are a game-going fan, things are a little bit different, right? Is you become super invested in the club. Not just the club, but like Manchester City, while I've supported them, have been to the third tier of English football, right? And if we were to end up back there, I'd still enjoy the games. Maybe not as much, but when you go to a game, you're going and seeing your friends. I'm meeting up with my mates from Manchester that I haven't seen all week, and we're going to a game. So, yes, winning is important, but to me, doing it with my mates is even, and catching up with my friends at the game. Manchester City to me is also the other thing is Manchester City will forever, ever be a reminder of my dad, right? Like that is what I did with my dad as a child. So I have a connection with Manchester City, respectfully, that is different to your connection, right?
Yeah,
and I'm not
definitely.
knocking your connection with them.
Exactly.
That's my
Yeah.
connection. If you can't go to games, your connection to a club will be different, right? So your connection is a bit more of an entertainment. And so therefore, you want to be entertained. And entertaining is winning and playing a good style of football. So I get it. I'm not disgusted by you. I understand.
No. It's not that. But I watch City games on a consistent basis. I haven't missed one game.
Yeah.
Since I started supporting them. But I watch them religiously, and I see the ups and downs as well, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that a lot of people, you know, bring up this negativity about, like, oh, you know, like Lee Gunner, for example. Like, he's always so...
My guy.
So like he's always like negative, right? Like, go support a team that wins then, you know? Like you're always you sound like a broken record consistently talking about the same thing. But it's okay, that's him. That's his view and his perspective. But like, you know, it's football doesn't work like that. It's a business now. You got to spend. And you know, City are willing to spend because of the shape. It's everything's a business now. You can't, the world doesn't work around the way it used to, like around heritage. Yes, and City is building heritage through the way it's being spent right now. You know, you got to spend. You got to spend a lot now for a player. That's how it works. Get
Yeah,
on with
and look, I
time
mean,
right now.
look,
You know what I mean?
the fact is, when I grew up, no one used to speak about that at all.
Yeah.
No one used to speak about the amount that Man United used to spend. No one used to speak about any of the stuff, and it's all come in because the original clubs, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man City, had food taken off their plate, right? And when they have food taken off their plate, they want to find a way to discredit the team, the people that are taking the food off their plate. That's what they're doing. Look, it's such a political thing that the realness is the American owners don't like money from other parts of the world getting involved. That's the truth of the matter if you really want to deep it. But
Yeah.
listen, are you looking forward to the FA Cup? You looking forward to the Champions League?
Yeah. I'm quite nervous though, but I'm sure City will pull off the treble. I'm
Which
sure. I'm
which one are you
confident
more
in my
nervous
team.
about?
Sorry?
Which one are you more nervous about?
I don't know, the United thing more because, you know, of the rivalry and, you know, the derby. But I think we're going to pull it off. I really do. I believe in this team. I'm very confident. And after the mistakes of last year, the way, you know, how we bottled it, we did. Um, I mean, it's experience. You learn through experience at the end of the day. And Pep learned from it, you know, and he adapted and adjusted.
Yeah.
And I feel this year there's something different about the team. There's an aura. You feel that. And Daps, you know that. There's something really different about this team.
Oh hell yeah!
There's
Listen,
there's this
trust me.
elite mentality, you know? There's this mentality now where like
It's not just through the squad; it runs through the fan base. The fan base this season.
exactly. The
We're
belief in the
walking with the
fan base
swagger.
right now.
Yeah,
Look at me.
we're
I
walking
feel
with the swagger now.
confident.
Yeah, we're all very.
Yeah.
I went into the first Champions League final, and although yes, we won the league that season. Chelsea finished. I don't even know where Chelsea finished.
Yeah.
We didn't walk in to that final truly believing, right? Whereas this one, we are. It's interesting what you just said there about trusting in this team, because I don't know if you were watching from the start, but I'd fallen asleep before this show. That's why it started a bit late, because I'd fallen asleep. My alarm hadn't gone off, and in my sleep, I had a nightmare, shall we say, that Inter were winning, right?
Well,
but you just triggered something. And you know, when you have a dream and then you remember, this happened in it. I remember my thoughts in that dream. We were 1-0 down, but in my dream, I still had faith that we were going to, come on, this is City, we'll get one back. And even in my dreams, I've got that faith that we can get this back now. I think we're just walking with a real different swagger. Sorry, just need to say, Martin, it is a call-in show, but we've been going for 2 hours now, so we're wrapping up after this, I'm afraid. But listen, Martin, hopefully we could get you on a show in the next day or two. So I'll hit you up about that. And love to Martin Mancunian Way. People, any Blues in here, if you haven't already, go and subscribe to Mancunian Way, one of the best Manchester City channels out there, and also one of the best hosts as well. Martin is one of the nicest, most sound guys. So please, wow, someone asking for an extra ticket to the cup final. I haven't, I'm afraid. No, they're like gold dust at the moment. So before we end, I want to get a couple of predictions. So firstly, prediction for the cup final.
3-1 City.
Okay.
What about you? What do you stand on that?
Predictions.
Oh, I see. You don't want to.
I'm very. I don't like. I wear socks to. I wear certain socks to games and all of that. I don't wear match. I won't
Juju,
wear.
huh?
I won't wear any Manchester City merchandise on the day of a game.
Okay, I see that. I feel it.
Except for the socks.
Okay. No, that's
Yeah.
fine. That's just your way. But
And
yeah,
then the
about your
second one, the
dream, right?
Champions League.
Sorry? Champions League. I think that's going to be a bit more, I think a more tighter affair. So 2-1, because they're going to, play more pragmatic and, structured, and they're going to be solid defensively. So yeah, I go for a 2-1 on that. And City's going to come through. They're going to come through with a win. I'm really confident in this team.
So am I.
Oh,
I really am.
yeah.
I really am. I think the United one's the one that now, as we get closer, United are, look, this to them means everything, because it is funny, because to them this means everything, because if they stop us from doing a treble, right?
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, even if they were to win the FA Cup, right, they can brag to us for a week. A week later, if we lift that Champions League, really doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter about the FA Cup.
It doesn't matter. If we do the Champions League, it's going to be such an achievement. But they just want to make sure we avoid the treble. So they want to get that off of us, But no, we're going to do all of it. Daps, have
I
more
believe
faith
it.
in
Listen,
your
I
team.
really believe it. I've never been so confident. I'd never said until we drew Bayern Munich, I never said that we'd win the Champions League. And when we drew Bayern Munich and I saw that we had Real Madrid's second leg at home, I said we're winning it this season. So, listen, really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much, and appreciate
it. No, thank you.
I appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Salute.
Yeah, take care, bro. Bye.
Right, people. Now, that has been a 2 hours, 10 minutes of therapy. Thank you to everyone that stayed with us for the full amount of time. Thanks to everyone in the comments. Alec, I see you. I hear what you're saying as well about not worried. And it's a good point about Anthony being out, because I do think, however much I might call him a fidget spinner, I do think that Anthony is a threat, isn't he? He's something to think about. And I really think that teams having a player that gives other teams something to think about, and that's what he does. I think once Anthony actually gets a bit more clinical, he could be a really, really good player. So him being out, that's massive. Anyway, thank you to everyone for watching. We will be back tomorrow. We will definitely be back tomorrow night, the usual Saturday night show at 9:45 with Mo. Instead of reviewing the games, we're going to be previewing all the games. So definitely tomorrow night, round about 9:45. However, we might also potentially be live maybe round 11 o'clock tomorrow as well. I'm going to have a chat with the guys in a minute, see if we can maybe do something tomorrow morning as well. But salute to every single one of you for staying with us for the show. And this has been Never Fail. I've been Daps. Hope everyone has a blessed weekend, whatever you are doing. Enjoy your time with your family, and we out.